This weather report is brought to you by Target Zero. You can expect more rain showers today. We'll be seeing cooler temperatures with highs in the low 50s. It's currently 45 in downtown Seattle, and things should be shaping up by the end of the week. You'll be seeing sunshine Thursday and Friday. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
You.
Uh-oh.
I didn't do it.
It is. You did it.
I probably did.
You totally did it. It's 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm on the mend, my friend.
Are you really? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. You're hacking and coughing and on the verge of gross. Yet, it sounds drier today
Yes.
than it sounded. Does that mean it's passing?
I think so. I think it's on its way. There's something going around.
Wouldn't that no, there's nothing going on. You're going around. Look around at all your
It
coworkers
started, yeah.
not going around.
I got it from someone else in this building.
So that's when you thought, I'll bring it to these guys. Whatever it is, you sound better today. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Good kids.
Feeling real dry.
Tori, you dry too?
Yeah.
Wow. You. All right, so let me explain why I hate you, and then I'll move on and explain.
I don't know that we have enough time.
Why I hate Paul. Right, but this is a specific one. So yesterday, if you guys, any of you were here for this part, television show called Seattle Refined.
Yeah.
The very nice young lady named Melina was in studio and trying to capture my greatness. And I think it went well, except I said things like that too often, I think. Like, they don't know me like you know. The lady would say, what do you like about the Seattle? And I would say, because you guys recognize my greatness. And she doesn't hear that every 5 minutes. I just, oh, man. So, but it was she's a very nice girl. So we do an interview, and it has its moments. It's fine, you know, and the good news is
They went to your home after they were in here.
It is not every interview I've ever done. You know, it's a local TV show. I've done bazillions of them, and I thought this was different and in a lot of ways better. I thought it was great. And there were some moments that give me pause. For one, the lady asked me an hour, 2 hours into this thing, lady asked me some kind of question, and I say, well, yeah, I like Seattle because the people here are friendly and educated. It's real nice here. And I just turned to Amy in mid-sentence. I said, honey, am I manic? And she says, no, I don't think so, sweetheart. Okay. And I go back to answering.
Oh, my goodness.
But apparently that's a thing. You're just going to do that on TV. The lady goes, are you manic? And I said, my wife says I'm not. So I'm not. She said, do you feel manic? So that turned into a minor thing. I think she was like hoping for an embolism or some such thing on her little show there. But like I said, it was kind of weird. And then I had an awkward moment. And I'll tell you what I did. And you guys can tell me what you think maybe I should have done. About a half hour before giving me the surprise, she said, oh, I have a surprise for you.
Now, who is this?
This is the Melina lady, the host and producer. I have a big surprise for you. And I said, okay. And we do some other stuff. And then she goes in, we're into my dining room. And she goes, okay, you ready for your surprise? And I said, yeah. She seems very excited. She goes, when was the last time you saw one of these? And she pulls out Partridge Family records. So what would you have done?
I would have said, oh, wow, that's fantastic. You know, can I take a look at it? And acted as if I hadn't seen one
Sarah,
every day of my life.
What would you have done?
Same as Paul.
Okay, I said every day of my life. Well, because people came to Whiskey Rocks and brought their Partridge.
Of course.
And they're worth $3 more if I sign them.
Yeah.
And I told her the story that I go into random vinyl shops and autograph Partridge Family records and put them back, which she thought was pretty funny. So anyway, I felt I didn't know how to play them, but I would tell you this. Whatever she was looking for with, oh my God, I've never seen... It only sold 40 million copies. You couldn't be more, whatever I didn't give her and felt mildly bad about. But the other way, I'm not opposed to lying, as you well know. But it just seemed like a crazy lie. Like anybody would know I see those every day.
It is, yeah.
So she said, what's your favorite song? And I'm making stuff up at this point. Amy likes the music, and she would know the answer. So I just have to answer like our biggest hits, although I don't care for the one that sold like 4 million copies on its own, I Think I Love You. Not one of my favorite songs. Not one of my favorite ever songs, and certainly not one of my favorite Partridge Family songs. So she says, let's sing it. Now, I'm thinking, no, I get by for, 45 years now not singing anything. I got paid lots of money to not sing these songs and I don't even know the songs. And I told her, I said, if you watch the Partridge Family shows, I'm giving every line. I'm the comedy. I'm the kid in the middle just doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch the musical numbers, it's not me at all, and then often the back of my head, and you can't see my hands either because it's such a disaster. I don't know the words at all. I don't know why nobody made me. I know all my lines, but I don't know any of the words, and my fingers are not doing the right stuff on the base of that giant ridiculous. So I figure I stiffed her on the... hey, I see those every day in my life. Crazy woman. What's the matter? Because she pulls them out. She goes, when was the last? Did you see this one? And it's the Partridge Family shopping bag. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I know. I see that. See that's my picture on the front of it there. I've probably seen that one before. And she goes, but how about this? Have you ever seen one that still had the shopping bag? So I thought, this is it. I'll do it now. No! Oh my God! How do you have that?
Right.
Did your big sister not use it and wreck it? And so that went okay.
She looked too young to be that excited about your the vinyl.
What?
She looked to me like she didn't grow up with the Partridge Family.
What is the age group that you think I impress, Sarah?
No, somebody who grew up.
Everybody grew up with the Partridge
Family.
Family.
Yeah, which is your favorite episode, Paul?
Episode 33, really.
No, I
my
don't
best.
know. The one you can hear in the 3010 spot where I go on a diet.
Exactly.
No, because, she may have been, but Amy's too young, and she loves them. She has all of them. She had all of them before I met her.
Yeah. I mean, we've had even young kids who have are big
My
fans.
nephew, but he is my nephew, is 6 maybe, and he knows all the words to all. I don't know what, because I don't get along that great with his mom that she would go, oh, this is your uncle. Let's have dance parties. And she does. She sent me video, or Amy video, of her having a dance party. So here's one of the many places this could have gone wrong. I don't want to hurt her feelings because I did the album thing. So now I kind of play along with the singing thing. But, and I tell her I've never done that before. Like, that should imply... I don't know why I would be considered a catch or whatever those things are called. But I said, I've never sung the Partridge Family songs before ever. I'll give it a try. Well, it turns out Partridge Family songs have a lot in common with all other songs, and that is they are not in my key. There's no song that starts off being in this key. So if it was, it would sound like this. I don't know what I'm up against. I don't know what I'm... That's the bass part of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It goes like this. Hey, I think I love you. So I'm screaming at this poor woman. Even Amy's like giving me the settle down hand motion that she kind of does. So that was odd.
And why are we to blame for this?
I'm going to tell you right now. Thank you very much for reminding me, getting me right back on track. So it's done. It's good. I hurt her feelings with the albums, but then I sing the song. She could have everything that she could possibly want in an interview with Danny Bonaducci.
That's great.
Yeah,
Wrap
that's what
it
I
up
said.
and go
That's
home.
awesome. So they packed, because we were playing backgammon out on the balcony, and it started to rain, so we came in. It started to get really cold, so we came in. It started to be really windy, so we came in. They're all packed up. They got the cameras, and they're heading out the door. They're telling me how nice it was to meet me, and they're leaving, and they went, That's a quote. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Sarah says, you ride a unicycle.
Oh. Well, that's true. You do ride a unicycle.
That is true. But where? In my living room? So we end up...
She asked me, by the way, while you
Does
left
Danny
the room.
Bonaducci ride a unicycle? Is that
Yeah.
what she asked?
No,
she
I was here. I
said-
remember that. Yeah, that
What was
happened.
the question, Paul? Did
Why
she
you
say, does Danny have a special skill we don't know about?
What's something that's really surprised you about Danny? I think was what she asked. And you said
and
he
it's
rides the
It's
unicycle.
amazing
You
talent.
should, you should totally get that on camera.
The fact that Dan
Did not say that.
See, that's what they said. You
Okay,
said.
it's possible that I said that.
So she goes, so will you ride a unicycle for us? And I said, okay, but you can't do it on 3rd Avenue. It's a straight up and down hill. She goes, oh, no, we wanted to go to Cary Park anyway, but the weather got bad. Not, hey, it's still bad. Let's not go.
Yeah.
So we end up, I ride the friggin' unicycle because Sarah says I can ride a unicycle. She goes, okay, now, like 5 more questions. And I said, okay, it gets really windy. I said, do them in the car. And I was kidding. She goes, okay. So we get in my car for a complete interview. We're done. We get back to my house because they've left a little stuff there. And I thank them again. Thank you very much for coming. Sure had a great time. Hope it was good for you too. And they say, bye. Okay. Hey, Paul says you juggle.
I heard that. That's totally
It's possible
true.
that I added that.
Why would you say I know how to juggle?
I don't know. She was so excited about the unicycle. I said, why not have him juggle?
It's good to have friends.
News is brought to you by Car Toys. A snowshoer who had been missing since Monday was sadly found dead on Mount Rainier yesterday. The body was found at the 4,005-foot level in the Nisqually drainage above or just below Paradise. The snowshoer was a 23-year-old man from Texas who had gone missing after separating from his climbing partner. They were coming down from where they had planned on snowshoeing to when something obviously went very wrong.
Oh, we've said this before, but super tough sport. I would think. I've never done it, but it seems like it'd be hard, by far harder than cross-country skiing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. A 20-year-old man was arrested last night accused of shining a laser at the King County Sheriff's Guardian 1 helicopter.
8 years.
It's so stupid.
So that's why I want to give him 8 years, because nobody got hurt, nothing really happened. He should pay a fine. But no, that kind of stupid, who knows what that man's capable of?
And do you
We're in
think
agreement?
Yeah. Do you think that he thought that he knew that it was a sheriff's helicopter, or he was just, I'm going to shine a laser pointer at some aircraft?
I have no idea. What I do know is that they figured out they did, and this is one of my favorite words when it comes to doing stuff, they triangulated. Bitchin'. And they found that dude and arrested him.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to the sheriff's department, we had our helicopter with a really good camera system. They were able to see exactly where it was coming from. The helicopter crews were then able to direct deputies on the ground to the transit center where they found the man at a bus stop with the laser on him.
Wow.
He admitted to having the laser and shining it at the helicopter. He was taken into custody. The sheriff's office says shining lasers at pilots is illegal and can be extremely dangerous because it can blind the pilot's eye. And if you see anybody with this sort of suspicious behavior, you are encouraged to report it on the FAA's website.
I'm down with everything bad that happens to this guy, but you said specifically they could blind the sheriff's eye. So he still got a good one?
The pilot's eye. You can blind him.
Right, blind him. He could see, if he's good enough to still play in Kansas, I think he's still good enough to fly his helicopter. But yeah, that guy, I hope they, maybe not really 8 years, obviously, but I think they should punish that guy because, you know, it says to me like a guy that does this is capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I think we should not find out what that is.
Right.
A new Oregon travel video seems to suggest a visit to the Beaver State is more like a psychedelic acid trip.
Awesome.
This video has been circulating, and it's an anime-style video. It shows children riding giant rabbits, frogs reading newspapers, caterpillars bicycling through the forest, the clouds that look like humpback whales. And
Isn't this a Creedence Clearwater song? Riding giant elephants on my front yard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is
Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? A doot doot doo.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote those words too. A doot doot doo.
They should have put that music to the
They
commercial.
totally should have.
Now, I don't know if y'all have watched it, but it's a trip.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it.
You can.
It's at KZOK.com.
Very nice.
And
Very
there's also a tooting cloud, I swear.
Oh, I missed the tooting
It's
cloud.
the best part, Sarah.
What do you mean?
A cloud that toots?
Yeah, there's like a little man inside, and he's got all these levers, and I don't know, there's little clouds.
Now,
that
I
come out
can't
of the cloud.
possibly. I want to believe you, sweetheart. I really do. But what's that sound like so we would know what you've seen?
I didn't. Oh, do you want me to do
See
that?
if you can pull up that audio.
No, that's not what I'm
No.
asking.
Oh.
I'm asking.
There you go.
Wow, that's a sick cloud, man. I didn't know she had it in her. That was a pretty serious blast there.
Earlier, you asked me, you said, I'm feeling I sound more dry. Derek said he's sounding dry. Tori did not.
No, she
No.
sounded damp. One of my favorite words.
Oh, gross.
A little moist.
Yeah.
Well, they're spending $5 million to boost state tourism. And some people say that the video is super cute, and other people say, what the heck, Oregon? Super weird.
Can you not say both? What the heck, Oregon? Yet super cute
Yeah.
with the guy riding the bunny rabbit.
It's just really trippy.
But they didn't spend $5 million on that video, right?
No, that is part of
Okay.
the push.
Because I saw that video and I would have spent about $5 on that video.
I would think I go to Oregon one weekend a year, and I don't find it a real trippy place. I think it's a drug infested place, much like other places, but it doesn't seem like a bunch of happy drugs. It seems like a bunch of drugs teenagers are taking and then get kicked out of their house and live on the streets. That's not that exciting.
Well, they pride themselves on being weird, and this video accentuates that.
You know, that's a stupid thing, too. Have you seen their shirts, Keep
Portland Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to Austin, Texas. You'll see Keep Austin Weird.
Right, yeah.
Go to like 5 other states or cities, and you'll see Keep this place. Not even, how weird are you if everybody's got the T-shirt?
Keep Portland original. How about
Right,
that?
I like that.
Sad news to report this morning. World-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
His family said he died peacefully at home in Cambridge early this morning. Now, he, of course, known for his famed work on black holes and relativity. He wrote several popular science books.
Of which I read one.
A Brief History of Time?
Yep. I think everybody around my age read that book.
Well, they made a movie about him, and it's impressive because at age 22, he was diagnosed with a motor neuron disease, and they said, you don't have long to live.
Right.
It's impressive that he lived a very prolific life with a family. It died at 76.
And he kept a sense of humor.
Yep.
He said, somebody asked him, are you surprised that you've become world famous? And he said, well, I'm not going to do it. Yes, I have. But, that's like the best one I've ever done. And
You
I'm not
are,
even
in fact, going to do it.
But he said, yeah, I can't really go anywhere without being recognized. And then he goes, I thought it was funny as hell.
Did everybody know that he was British?
No.
I never heard the accent.
Because the box doesn't have an accent.
Right, exactly.
The little machine does not have unless he goes, cheerio. You wouldn't know. Cheers, mate.
I saw a lot of pictures of him this morning when he was in his early 20s, when he was starting his career.
Yeah.
He looked like he could have been in a British boy band, a British rock band. You wouldn't think that seeing the man that we knew in the wheelchair.
No, I wouldn't.
Had like
No,
the shaggy,
I
dark
wouldn't.
hair and handsome face. Rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. Another White House departure is making headlines, and it's one that President Trump won't be happy about. His personal assistant, John McEntee, was abruptly fired and escorted out of the White House.
Now, when you say you won't be happy about it, so the president didn't fire him?
No, it was a security clearance issue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
They
there's been
called
a lot
that
of
guy the
those.
body, and I don't know why.
'Cause
Like, they
he's
never made
hot.
it clear. I don't think so. That's
No.
that's immediately because he's not bad.
Yeah.
So
That's the
it's-
title. That's the position, is body man.
Certainly, when he stands next to Trump, oh, you're the body. I see. So it's just the job title, the
Yeah,
body.
the personal assistant to the president is called the body man for whatever reason. I
So
don't know.
before this guy, the last guy was called the body. Oh, I didn't.
Yes.
Okay, because I saw in the news the body. Thought it was Jesse Ventura.
Or Al McPherson. Now, the White House said they would not provide details, but that McEntee is under investigation by Homeland Security for, quote, serious financial crimes, end quote, unrelated to the president.
Is there anybody left in the White House that's not under investigation for serious crimes of some sort?
There's a guy working in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, I think it starts with the president. Isn't he constantly under investigation for
Yes.
something?
Yeah.
Didn't he collude?
That's what they're saying.
What a
yeah.
colluder.
Apple filed a patent made public yesterday for a keyboard that resists crumbs. This patent
I thought it was going to be a flying car or monkey robots. It's a crumb-eating face.
Yeah, we got to solve the real problems in the world first. Monkey robots? What's a monkey robot?
I don't know, robots that can do what monkeys can do.
well, you think about how many
You know,
people.
I swear to God, I'm sorry, but if you had a robot that could do monkey stuff,
Yeah.
monkeys can do a ton of stuff. They're waiters in restaurants now. You could I've seen them in the circus driving those little cars. If you had 5 million monkey robots, well, we'd all be out of work, I think.
So if the robot delivers your food, what makes it not a robot waiter and specifically a robot monkey that delivers food?
It doesn't eat.
Robots don't eat,
It
yeah.
doesn't sleep.
Okay.
It doesn't get overtime. It shuts up.
All right.
Well, most people eat at their desks. They have their laptops on their lap. They have their devices, their phones, their whatever, their Mac. And you eat and snack and crumbs get all over your keyboard. And it's kind of gross. And they sell some goopy stuff that you can put over your keyboard to try to extract all the crumbs. But Apple has now a patent for a keyboard that can keep dirt out. They've sealed gaps. They have a membrane beneath each key that blows air out every time a key is pressed, pushing out the crumbs.
What? Every time you push your key, it goes, psh,
Yep.
psh. Yours was better than mine. I think it's stupid.
When you push the air button, not every button, right?
They said it's some sort of membrane underneath each key.
Wow.
that
So
you
any
push it.
key.
No,
That's got to be annoying, right?
I don't think.
I don't think you hear it.
I think you're both saying the same thing,
Yeah.
but I think you turn the air thing on, and as long as you've turned whatever it is on, it'll go then go pff, pff, when you hit keys, but it won't just start going pff
No.
all the time.
No.
Well, if anybody wants to buy a crumb-resistant keyboard or a monkey robot, they could probably use $1,000.
No.
What do you think a monkey robot goes for, Danny?
Oh, millions of dollars. They're not free.
Well, that'll get you a little way there, I guess.
And the latest on the poisoning of a former Russian spy in Britain.
Yeah.
The Russian Foreign Ministry's spokeswoman has warned Britain against putting ultimatums to Russia, reminding the UK that they've got some nukes. Maria Zakharova said in televised remarks yesterday, "No one can come to Parliament and say, I give Russia 24 hours, which is what British Prime Minister Theresa May did.
Yeah.
Explain this, Russia. You've got 24 hours. And I'm going to paraphrase here. Russia said, you don't boss us around.
No, they
We've
did say
got
that,
nukes."
which is weird. Because my wife said last night, can't the UK do something else? To what I said in real life, no. Because Russia doesn't play by our rules.
Nope.
If an American did something, they're going to go to jail. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. But you say to Vladimir Putin, I'm pretty sure you murdered a man on British soil and then attempted to murder a man and his daughter on English grounds. And he'd go, yeah, whatever, and go back. And that's where it stops.
Yeah.
You can investigate all day. He kind of will admit he did it.
Right.
It's really weird. Oh, we should send him a crumb-resistant keyboard. That's all we don't have, great
robot.
advances.
I mean, they can shut down an embassy or two. Or they can, impose sanctions, but it doesn't. None of that seems to be helping.
No, and you said we've got nukes. Did they really threaten to blow the place up?
So President Putin. That
Same
was a
guy,
weird
whatever.
Yeah, close enough.
misspeak.
One's in better shape.
He had just given a speech in which he presented a range of new nuclear weapons.
Yeah, scary looking stuff.
Yeah, the ones that are underwater and fly through the air and are painted blue.
Yep. And they said,
It's the blue ones I'm really afraid of, too.
Well, they go in a really good sky and you can't see them.
Yeah.
What's that fire doing there?
she said, Britain mustn't try to scare Russia. And then during this interview pointed at, there's President Putin in the background talking about his nukes. And she's like, don't boss us around, and points at that presentation.
Well, that would be super weird to do because unbeknownst to them, I guess, we've got nukes.
Yeah.
And we are responsible for the well-being in that regard of almost all of Europe.
Right.
And I think we've all got, it's funny to me, but I don't know why they have, say, 9,000 nukes and we have 7,500 nukes and everybody goes, whoa, you have way less nukes. I think we got plenty of nukes at 7,500.
Yeah.
Police say approximately 5 homes were evacuated after a 12-year-old boy crashed a stolen car into a gas meter, causing it to break. According to Pea Ridge police officer Mike Lira, the boy stole his mom's 2002 Pontiac Grand Am about 2 in the morning and then drove around and eventually lost control of the car and hit a gas meter. Now, the 12-year-old is facing charges of reckless driving and driving without a license, because you can't have a license at 12,
Right.
even in Pea Ridge, Arkansas.
Well, I would think if you could have one anywhere, it'd be Pea Ridge.
Right. I mean, you can get married.
What's the age of consent over there? About 12 years old, and you can even drive to your own service.
Newborn babies
Mm-hmm.
may be considered ugly, according to new research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody needed to do a study on that.
You should hold one up next to a really gross-looking bulldog and go, oh, my God, they're twins.
Yeah.
They wanted to do this study because, according to the lead authors, some parents get a little freaked out when they don't fall in love immediately with how cute their baby is.
You know, I'm glad you said that because, you know, that whole thing about, and everyone I ever know says things like this. The second that baby was born, I knew what love meant. My world was totally different. None of that happened for me.
Well, they said
It
that's
kind of made me
normal.
feel really weird. I kept it to myself. Unlike, hey, I see those albums every day. I kept this one quiet. Like when the baby was born, I went, that is yucky. You should hose that thing off a little bit.
Yeah, they said that it takes 6 months for adults to find babies appealing. That they're kind of weird. They don't really have the cute characteristics yet because
No.
they're still scrunched up.
I'd really much rather kiss a really weird-looking bulldog than a new baby. If you put those side by side and I had to kiss one of them, I would go for the bulldog.
And that's 6 months for your own baby. Like somebody else's baby, that
Almost
you
never.
never. Yeah.
Probably takes a lot longer. There's a terrible story in the news that I really hoped was fake because it's hard to believe people are this stupid. But according to United Airlines, this did happen. A dog died on a flight after the flight attendant ordered its owner to put the animal in the plane's overhead bin instead of under the seat in front of her.
Okay, the flight attendant, if this is all accurate information, should burn in hell. Let's just say that.
Yep.
But the owner of the dog should at least get uncomfortably warm in purgatory. Who would listen to that?
Right.
I'm with
Who would
you.
say, okay?
I mean, we had something weeks ago where the passenger flushed a hamster down the toilet because TSA told him to, or they claimed TSA told him to. Who would do that?
Who would do it? Absolutely.
And I'd do the
person,
hamster thing before I put the dog in
I
the
think
overhead.
that person was fishing for money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go kill my pet, and I'm going to get $1 million from this airline. But on this one, I think they're just super stupid and didn't realize I don't have to do this. Although in the news a lot, people have refused to do what a flight attendant said, and they've gotten arrested, emergency landings. So I'm a little bit miffed at the owner of that dog, who I'm sure is crying today.
Yeah.
That's partly your fault that you did that.
But I mean, that is most likely what you're facing. Is you're facing police coming on, the airplane being held up, everyone's upset at you, police coming on, taking you off and arresting you.
Fine, put it in the overhead bin for takeoff and then bring it back down. You don't leave it up there for the 6-hour flight or whatever it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'm not putting my dog in.
That's the thing. I wouldn't do it either. Now, the flight attendant is not admitting to this, right?
United Airlines said, yes, this happened. We are apologizing, we are investigating, and we are talking to the flight attendant. Presently, the airline has refunded the tickets purchased.
That's kind of insulting. I mean, just, here, have your
By
money
the way,
back.
you know this place on the map that you'll always call Dead Dogville?
Right.
Yeah, you can go there free next year. So I heard that she said, or he said, I don't really know which,
I'm not sure either.
that she never knew there was a dog in that carry-on, and all carry-on has to go up. So she did say put the bag in, but she didn't say put the bag with the dog in it because she couldn't see it because little doggy was black.
Yeah, shenanigans, because
Shenanigans.
They paid, and it was a specific carrier for a dog.
And witnesses said that the dog was yelping when it was
Yeah.
put in, like that there was noise coming from the cabin for part of the flight.
Everybody should be arrested
Yeah.
in this story.
Yeah, how was another passenger not pulling that dog out of the...
That's a good point.
That is a
Overhead
good
bin.
point.
Because I think I would. I think I would have gotten out of my seat, opened that, and said, fine, put it under my seat.
Plus, for lots of different reasons. Okay, so one is altruistic. We're saving the dog, right? But the other one is I don't want you pooping on my stuff. Whenever my cat, when I'm trying to take it to all my kitties, which I really like that kind of place. There's millions of other cats there for her to play with. But the second she starts to seriously cry and drool, then she poops all over everything.
Yeah.
I would think that'll do. Dog's going to poop on my tennis racket or whatever up there.
Bourbon barrel number 15 is now making history. Jim Beam, in its warehouse, filled its 15 millionth barrel of bourbon since the end of Prohibition.
That's a lot of bourbon.
Yeah.
Now,
Because I just want bourbon.
But you don't want 15 million
No, I want one
barrels,
bourbon.
right? Yeah.
that's a lot of...
And one scotch,
And
probably.
then I'd really like after that to just chase it one beer. Thought I was going to be out here on a limb.
Well, they said, Prohibition, they made a lot of these distilleries get knocked down, that they weren't sure they would be able to rebuild. Jim Beam did, and now 15 millionth barrel of bourbon.
A lot of bourbon.
People are drinking that.
Anybody have any idea how many, what do they sell, liters or fifths? How many fifths in a barrel?
Oh, gosh, a
No,
lot.
I don't know.
Hundreds though, right?
Yeah, you
think
think.
so.
Because those barrels are huge.
Yeah. Today is March 14th.
I know what that means.
It's National Pie Day.
Pie Day.
National Pie Day.
It's National Pie Day.
Not pi as in the dessert, as in the math symbol, the Greek letter pi. They keep it simple. 3/14, March 14th. Now, a lot of people get super excited for Pie Day, geeks, nerds, and people who just like to celebrate random stuff and things. So you're going to find a lot of discounts today. Pizza pie,
Yeah.
fruit pie, anything that is in a pie form, you will find at a lot of places discounted, even like QFC and Safeway.
I didn't think about this, but now I feel a lunch coming on at Casa de Ducci.
Yeah?
Pie.
Pie and pie?
Pizza pie.
Pie.
We're fans of pizza pie and the Balduccios.
We usually do pizza pie and then a fruit pie.
Yum.
Same
Double
day?
pie. Oh, yeah, because it's Pie Day.
It's going to go right to your thighs.
Danny.
A pizza and a fruit pie in the same day? Am I the only one that knows that's going to go to your ass?
Pie Day, Thigh Day.
Totally true.
Yeah.
And if you watch the TV news, you will see a lot of the female meteorologists are all wearing purple today. They are encouraging people all over to wear purple as a sign of encouragement to young women and young girls to get into science.
Because I wore purple, I don't know, a few days ago when it was
Women's
National Women's Day or
International
some such thing. And so I'm good on the purple thing.
You're all set just once a year?
Yeah. Well, no, because I have purple shoes that I really like. So I'm a few times a year.
You could have worn them today. Go home and change.
Okay, I'm on my way. I wore bright red shoes, bright red Nike. I am Nike-licious today.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, from the bottoms of my little tootsies to my shoulders.
KZOK.com, Danny TV, if you want to see Danny's Nike-licious. That's what you call it.
Well, or I'm just wearing jeans and some shoes. I don't think this is one you need to go, whoa, get a look at that.
If you're going to name it Nike-licious, I think people need to see it.
All right, then.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay!
A patient went to the hospital, was treated, and then got really mad when all of it was said and done. So what happened was 911 gets a call and said this guy, Danny Konazinski, is drunk. So the paramedics showed up and they took him to the hospital. He said, yeah, I'm drunk. And they said, okay, you need to wait for a doctor. But you're like low man on the totem pole in the emergency room. They see everybody else before you. So he was waiting there for 2 hours and got so mad, he stole an ambulance and drove himself home.
Wow. You shouldn't drive being that drunk.
No.
Well, they were able to track him down. He parked the ambulance in his neighbor's driveway because they're the ones who called 911 on him, and he was mad.
Yeah. This guy doesn't sound like he's as drunk as people think he is.
Because
He got home safely and pulled a prank.
and was able to drive an ambulance.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
They're just trucks.
Yeah, it's just a fan.
And there's nothing
It's a
special.
giant box.
I mean, there's a toggle switch for the lights, but I think even that says on and off. I think you'd be okay.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
I was going to say, I wonder if I can find one to drive, but I'm guessing that's illegal.
You know how the world of U-Haul
Yep.
stays in business? Because everybody can drive one of those. That's all it is, a U-Haul truck. Painted
Yeah.
fancier.
Speak for yourself.
All right.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News is brought to you by Car Toys. When we come back, music news. Wow, Metallica doing something very impressive, and you can take part. Some bad news for Bon Jovi.
Uh-oh.
Why was Jimmy Page in Seattle?
Yeah.
In entertainment, a controversial move by Netflix. And wow, you got to stick around for sports because there's some big changes in store for the Seahawks.
This traffic report is brought to you by Bartell Drugs. On I-5 northbound as you approach Highway 18 near Federal Way, we do have an accident currently blocking the shoulder. And on I-5 southbound near Arlington as you approach Highway 530, there's an accident there blocking the right lane. Locally owned Bartell Drugs now filling Kaiser Permanente PPO Access member prescriptions at all of their 67 convenient Bartell Drugs neighborhood locations. Visit bartelldrugs.com for more information and transfer today. Bartell Drugs, treating Washington well since 1890. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Unless you are Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, it would be nice to have more money. Most of us don't have the luxury of just having endless millions of dollars. So if you would like to put some money back in your budget and knock up to $1,000 off your mortgage payment, it's time to reach out to American Financing. You hear so much about people buying houses. Well, how about if you already own one and you'd like to refinance your mortgage? These guys at American Financing are going to help you. They employ salary-based mortgage consultants that can help you get the loan that is right for you. Yeah, they're all about a custom loan. American Financing can help you get a 9, 13, or 18-year loan, really any term you need. They're all about the custom loan. You choose. That's the great thing about American Financing. They're going to work with you to get the loan that is right for you. And American Financing is family owned. They're going to treat their employees like family, so they know how important it is for those people and you to get the right loan. Reach out to them now at 206-204-3200 or americanfinancing.net and MLS 182334.
This weather report is brought to you by Money Tree. You can expect more rain showers today. We'll be seeing cooler temperatures with highs in the low 50s. It's currently 45 in downtown Seattle. Things are looking up, though. For later this week, we'll be getting sunshine Thursday and Friday. At Money Tree, they think cashing your check should be quick and easy. That's why they've been saying yes for over 30 years. They'll cash your tax refund check for only 1.9%. So come into a Money Tree branch today and let them say yes to you. Your money in time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with some music news, want to remind you guys that we are going to once again play Who's the Cooper today at 7:20 for a pair of tickets to see Alice Cooper, August 19th, Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett.
Can the answer be Alice Cooper to win Alice Cooper?
Ooh.
It could be.
Okay, keep that in mind. Thank you.
Hopefully it's not today.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awful. I feel terrible now if that was.
Jimmy Page, the guitarist and founder of Led Zeppelin, was here in Seattle. Now, we don't know why. We hear rumors as to why, but he was just out walking around.
That's a fairly big star.
Yeah.
It makes the news that you were in a state.
Yeah.
He was at Green Lake, and he was right where Led Zeppelin played nearly 50 years ago. The guitar store near Green Lake posted a photo of Jimmy Page at the remains of the Aqua Theater that was constructed in 1950 as part of Seafair and then demolished in 1979. Only part of the grandstand remains, and that site is now home to the Green Lake Small Craft Center. So they took this picture of him, who was there perhaps for nostalgia. He performed there with Led Zeppelin, May 11th, 1969, in front of 5,000 people.
Wow.
There were a lot of people who also watched from their rowboats, because Green Lake is on the smaller side.
Monkey rowboats?
Monkey rowboats.
Monkey robots. Monkey
robots. Oh, that's stupid. But you could get a monkey robot to row your rowboat.
You could, yeah. It's possible.
You'll see. That's what's coming first.
Monkey robots rowing rowboats.
Little steel
hard to
helmet
say.
heads.
But why? What makes it a monkey robot? Why is it
They
not just
were
a
started
robot?
as monkeys. They're biological.
Oh,
God,
are you saying this
Paul.
is a hybrid
Not a hybrid.
monkey
we make
robot?
Them. It's cruel and unusual that we did this to monkeys.
But it's not an actual monkey.
It was.
I don't know.
They
I'm
have
so
laser
confused.
eyes.
It's like the Terminator. Like it was a monkey.
No, that's
and now
exactly
it's
right. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know I was serious about this till now.
Monkey robots in rowboats.
Right. What's wrong with you?
You guys
That's
done?
your dream. I don't think we are, no.
Paul doesn't think so. I don't know what to do about that.
Metallica is auctioning off special experiences and signed merchandise.
I'm sorry. So nobody knows why he was here, really?
Oh, I didn't know if you guys were paying attention because you're talking about monkey robots.
Well, who do you think's going to roadie for him?
He was reportedly here because his girlfriend, Scarlett Sabé, had a poetry reading at the Elliott Bay Book Club on Capitol Hill.
I would break up with a girl the second she said, "Hey, I'm a little busy. I got a poetry reading."
Well, he didn't go. He went out to Green Lake.
I just think she shouldn't do it.
Now, word is, Jimmy Page did go with her to Elliott Bay Book Club
See,
Well, he
Paul,
did
what is
go.
wrong with you?
and greeted folks and was totally super nice.
Are we sure that was him and not a monkey robot
What
pretending
is
to
What's
be?
wrong with you two?
What do you mean you two? I gave it
Nothing's
up.
wrong with
Sitting
you
right
two.
here.
I mean, Bono's worried about the whole scandal with
Oh
the.
my goodness.
Is that not the U2 she was talking about?
Oh, wow, he's annoying.
For those of you who want to see pictures of Jimmy Page here in Seattle, Tori will post that up to our website. At
Oh, yeah, I do
KZOK.com.
want to see that.
I do want to see that.
Very cool. Metallica are auctioning off special experiences and signed merchandise in support of their All Within My Hands charity foundation. Among the experiences you can bid on are tickets, meet and greet passes for their upcoming sold-out shows in Prague and Munich, plus field passes to their San Francisco Giants Metallica night at AT&T Park.
So they're no matter what, for at least a night, they're going to be prog rockers.
Yes.
That's kind of cool of them.
The auction will also include an autographed drum head that was used during the recording of their last album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and a copy that's signed of the Kill 'Em All reissued box set. And this all goes to their charity. Now, maybe you wonder what
I
is
think the money from Kill Them All going to charity is fun.
It's money for natural disaster relief, Houston, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Northern California. It's also for food banks.
Sweet.
They're nice guys,
They are
Metallica,
nice
which
guys.
isn't always conveyed when they have albums like Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi's latest album, This House Is Not For Sale, returned to the top of the charts earlier this month as part of a ticket LP deal associated with the band's upcoming tour. A lot of bands do this. They put out an album or they reissue an album, and when you buy it, you get tickets. So, or when you buy the tickets, rather, you get the album.
Yeah, that way.
So what they did is
I think either way would work, wouldn't it?
No, you're not going to pay that much for a CD or a digital copy of an album.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to buy these tickets for $100, and then you get a free copy of the album.
Cool.
Well, as a result of this, for this big tour that they've got, they went back up to number 1, and they sold 120,000 copies, and that was great.
And that album's been out for a little while, right?
It's been out for a really long time. They said this was actually a new record between placements. So that it came out so many months ago was number 1, and then it came out, a year later, and it was back at number 1. They're like, great. Only now, Bon Jovi making history again because they fell from number 1 to number 168.
Well, that's not good. That's no way to make a fortune.
The steepest ever drop in chart history.
Well, they got to attach their album to other products that we're going to buy.
And I think they need to download it in my phone, no matter what I say.
Oh, yeah. But can you imagine just you go to the store and everything that, you need cat litter and there's a Bon Jovi record attached to it. Boom. All of a sudden they're back up on top of the charts.
So do they feel bad about this?
I would imagine so. Making history for all the wrong reasons.
But it seems like a natural thing that has to happen if you're propping up your record sales with a gimmick, really.
Right,
When the
yeah.
gimmick's over, kaboom.
Saturday is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it is.
And Mark Hamill will be in Dublin as part of a big parade that they have. He will be the International Guest of Honor. He, of course, famous for playing Luke Skywalker, but also has a connection because he filmed Star Wars in Ireland, and his grandmother is from Kilkenny, Ireland. So he is of Irish descent.
Odd thing to name a town.
Kilkenny, yeah.
Bite
They were
Paul,
really mad at Kenny.
Apparently.
Irish actor Liam Cunningham, who is most famous for his role as Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Davos, will lead the parade this year. 2,000 members of marching bands will take part in the parade this year.
All right.
They go all out with their parade, which is funny because in Ireland they say that it never used to be that big of a deal that America popularized St. Patrick's Day for them. But Mark Hamill will be there.
Is that what St. Patrick really did? Did he run snakes out of Ireland? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, what
That's
do you
what
think
I
he ran
heard.
out? Monkey robots?
I don't know what he did, but I don't think he did that. I think that's a thing we made up.
Like Americans made that up?
I don't know who made it up, but it's a made-up thing. I think if you ask the Irish, and Irish Catholics no less, because they're a fun group,
Yeah.
say, what did this guy do? They would not say he ran the snakes out of Ireland. Hey, can you find out what St. Patrick did? Because I think we're all going to be surprised that he didn't do that. Although I could be wrong, and he obviously did.
I mean, that's all I ever heard, but
That's
it
all
certainly
I ever
could be
heard.
something we made
about
up.
it, I just think is fake news.
And what did the Pied Piper do? He took all the rats out
Rats,
of Ireland?
yeah.
Rats, yeah.
Out of
Also,
Ireland?
I think fake news. I don't think he really did. Out of Ireland? What's up with Ireland?
Or was
Oh,
it-
yeah, once you get the snakes out, now who's going to eat the rats?
Exactly,
They're
yeah.
everywhere. All right.
Anything yet, Derek?
I'm seeing them celebrating it on March 17th only because that's the supposed date of his death. It's a religious and cultural holiday. Nothing about snakes.
Nothing about snakes, huh?
No.
That's what I thought. I just think we added snakes.
That's a weird thing to do.
Imagine us, making up holidays that
Yeah.
don't really have any real meaning to them.
So you're telling me that, oh, never mind. I was going to go after Santa Claus from now. That's got to be bad business.
There was a movie that was supposed to come out about John Gotti. It's starring John Travolta. And it was supposed to come out a bazillion years ago.
Yeah.
And now they say, finally, it looks like this movie is going to see the light of day. However, we still don't know if this movie is going to be any good.
I want to see the reverse prosthetics, to be honest with you. Gotti didn't have a ridiculous dimple in his chin.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Oh.
think they're going to fill that in. For
Really?
That's what that'd be my guess. But I'm guessing, much
wow.
like snakes. They could just fill it with snakes. I don't know what they do.
I don't think that's what they use.
Well, whatever it is, I don't think the Gotti had one.
No, you're right. I just never thought about it. They probably put some little putty over it.
Some putty in there.
Yeah. Oh, so it's going to be coming out on June 15th. That is the new release date.
I'm a fan of Mr. Travolta's.
Yeah, no, he's great.
He seems like a total weirdo, but he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey. What would you imagine Oprah Winfrey likes to do in her spare time? Her favorite hobby?
Roll in money.
Yeah.
She said taking a bath. Bath salts, bath oils.
Yeah, she's right about that.
Her favorite thing is getting into the bath. She said that she has a hand carved to fit the curves of her body bathtub that is made from marble and
hand carved.
onyx. Hand carved.
Okay. I thought, for some reason, I thought you said she has a hand carved. I thought it was one of those massager things.
Yeah.
With a big hand on it. No, a hand carved tub.
Hand carved tub specifically designed to fit the curves of her body.
I would mock her for having too much money, but if I had 1/3 of her money, I'd do stuff like that.
Yeah.
She said that they do a model, they create a cast model, you lie inside it, and then they hand chisel it so that you fit perfectly in your bathtub.
Oh, that's money well spent.
And you got to lay there the whole time? Like, oh, can you move just a little bit to the left? We got to carve out a little bit more?
Do you want to explain it to Dopey Paul, or do you want me to?
You.
Haven't you ever had like a model made of
I-
your hand or your teeth? Your kid put it in the stuff, and it makes a cast model of it, and then they carve it based on that.
Oh.
You don't
but
lay there
You
for-
said they sat there and hand chiseled the
You
tub
have to sit
out of
sit
marble.
there while
All
they
right.
check the curves
This is
of
one
your
of
body.
those duality things.
Yeah.
You did say that, yet you're still an idiot of some
Okay.
kind of.
Yeah. Because I should have taken it as silly putty instead of
Right.
hand carving
Yes,
with a chisel
exactly.
from marble.
I thought it was a giant wooden hand.
My
that carves.
apologies.
What's up, Paul?
Mm.
They could have got the monkey robots to do it.
Did
though.
you know he juggles?
I can't wait to see the episode of Seattle Refined where you juggle on a unicycle.
I do not juggle on a unicycle. I barely ride a unicycle.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports. He's right.
I have a cold. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Yesterday, the Mariners lost to the Rockies, 8-7.
Turn it around.
Will they listen eventually? Because they haven't turned it around
Well,
yet.
just one
No.
of these days they have to win a game.
Right. At least they're staying healthy, though. I mean, it'd be worse if they were losing games and injuries were piling up.
I
Well-
smell something coming.
Yep, another injury to report. Nelson Cruz tweaked a quadriceps muscle while running out of the batter's box. Then Andrew Romine suffered a shoulder injury while attempting to tag in the field. Now, this is 6 or 7 injuries we've had so far in spring
Yeah.
training.
Yeah. Which would explain why we're losing all the time.
Yeah.
To
Well,
guys we've heard of, too. Like,
Yep.
it's not fine, but it's fine if people we've never heard of get hurt in spring training. But the guys that we actually, like, they're big names. People we're going to
Yes.
rely upon
Yeah.
throughout the season
Well,
getting
don't rely
injured
on
in
them.
spring training.
Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez,
Right.
who they say, by the way, he was throwing in the bullpen and will be ready to start the season. So yesterday he was throwing again. Today the Mariners face the Giants with a 6:40 start time. And a couple of notes in football. The Packers have released longtime receiver Jordy Nelson and signed tight end Jimmy Graham. Now, with cutting Nelson, they get $10.2 million in cap space. And they said that part of the problem was that Jimmy Graham, for the Seahawks, just made too much money.
Yeah. Worth every penny, if you ask me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players.
Does he get all that $10 million, though? Is it just kind of a wash for them?
Well, I don't know
They
what you mean.
save $10 million on Jordy Nelson, and then they spend it on
They
Jimmy
cut
Graham?
him. They don't have to pay him.
Right. So they now have $10 million, and then they sign Jimmy Graham. Do they spend that $10 million on him?
For some reason, they still have $2.3 million in cap space. So
So
I'm
Jimmy
not
Graham's
sure.
a discount. They got
Yeah.
him for $8 million.
Yeah, I'm not sure how their deal actually worked out, but it worked out better financially for the Packers than you would have expected.
Great. I mean, for them.
Yeah, I don't care.
The Seahawks are also losing wide receiver Paul Richardson to Washington. He'll sign a 5-year, $40 million contract.
Wow.
My
It's a lot of
goodness.
dough.
A lot of activity going on in football. This is the start of free agency, and it's just the beginning. I mean, the 2 teams who went to the Super Bowl this year, the Eagles and the Patriots, have already gotten rid of like a quarter of their players. So Deion Lewis, Danny Amendola are reportedly signing with other teams, and Tom Brady's talking retirement.
Is he?
Yeah, and
Is he
Derek's
talking
quarterbacks
about,
are leaving.
Is he talking about retirement seriously? Where you believe him?
He said that he's going to discuss it with his wife, and it probably won't be this season, but perhaps next.
I'd go for another quick $20 million for him.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't seem to get hurt very often. It's
No.
worth taking one or two for the team over a career. But that quarterback in most good teams is well protected. I'd stay in there for another $20 million.
And
Plus,
he takes such good care of himself.
He
At
does.
40 years old, he's able to play at the same level he
and
was.
I got to tell you, and I'm only guessing, I don't know for sure, but usually when I guess I'm right, no matter how bitchin' your hot wife is, and no matter what $300 million she has, the second you retire, whatever she used to say is going to sound like this. That's what I think.
Dennis Rodman pled guilty to 2 counts of misdemeanor DUI stemming from his January arrest, and he is staying out of jail. He was on probation at the time, so a lot of people figured, busted again, he is going to go to jail. But he immediately went into a rehab center, and they say 9 months of an alcohol program, and if you mess up again in the next 2 years, you are getting 90 days.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this is what I think. I don't know if I was wrong, but if I was in my full drinking mode, like I think Mr. Rodman is, and hanging out in Miami and going to all the clubs, and a judge says you have to go to rehab for 6 months or do 30 days in jail, I would take jail. I'd go 30 days in jail.
Absolutely.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. Because rehab isn't just a lot of time not drinking. It's a lot of time not drinking spent with other people who are not drinking and saying stuff about their higher power and stuff. It's just annoying. Give me a drink right now.
Sounders, tonight the CONCACAF match is at 7 o'clock against Guadalajara. And in NCAA hoops, the UW Huskies will hoist Boise State. The NIT first round is at 7. Gonzaga, the 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, will open against UNC Greensboro tomorrow morning at 10:30. And don't forget, Danny will be out at the fights.
I will.
The EQC Battle at the Boat 115. Doors are at 6. Fights start at 7. You can get details at emeraldqueen.com. You are hosting, not fighting, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not very. Although I am having lunch with Brian Halquist today,
Oh,
the guy who
really?
promotes all these things.
Maybe he's going to ask you to fight.
I think is he going to ask me to fight?
I sure hope
Does
so.
he know I'm 100?
Maybe he's going to ask you to juggle while riding a unicycle.
No, because he doesn't hate me.
All right, don't go anywhere. Don't forget, we've got Alice Cooper tickets coming up shortly.
You're going to see some minor delays near Lacey due to some stop and go traffic on I-5 northbound between Marvin Road and the Nisqually Cutoff Road. Other than that, most of your roadways are looking pretty good this morning. This traffic report was brought to you by Domino's. This week only, Domino's is giving you 2 pizzas for the price of 1. It's like a tasty magic trick that you can perform as many times as you want. Carry out only. You must select this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Applies to menu-priced pizza ordered online. Second pizza of equal or lesser value for free. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK. KZOK.
Hey, it's me, and I want to tell you about 3010 Weight Loss for Life. I want to tell you about it because it worked for me, and if it can work for me, it works for you. Hey, it is not just a program. It is a lifestyle change. It's going to help you change the way you think and feel about food. And if you do that, in all seriousness, you're going to take that weight off, and you're going to keep it off for good. 3010 Weight Loss for Life. If your weight is a concern, and like I said, I feel your pain. Been fat since I was 12. You know, you've seen me throughout the years. My weight goes up and it goes down. That's bad for you too, just as bad as staying big. So now there's a solution, and it is 3010 Weight Loss for Life. And here's some good news. A very supportive team. You go in there, they get your measurements. That is, you get on a big fancy scale and the like, and they tell you what's in your best interest. You do that. That's the thing. You do the plan and you lose the weight every single time, or at least that's the way it worked for me. Paul lost 86 pounds. Way impressive. Thanks to 3010, I've lost the 40 pounds. You can do it too. I invite you to call 3010 Weight Loss for Life today. 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010. Or you can go to 3010weightlossforlife.com. It is 7:02 and no more Mr. Nice Guy. Of course, I'm quoting the one and only Alice Cooper, who has come to town. He's going to be playing at the Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett. 7:20 this morning, playing a game called Who's the Cooper? Be here for that.
You know, people are all about dating online and dating via apps.
That's what I would do. Absolutely. If I were single, I would absolutely be on a dating service.
Believe it or not, there is a man who has been revealed as the most right swiped of the year. They track that.
I had no idea.
He's handsome. He's, a handsome fella, but, Tinder tracks such things. And there are people who meet on Tinder and it becomes a meaningful relationship.
No, I thought it was just a sex thing, but I have taken very seriously and even married some women I was only interested in having sex with. So it can go somewhere.
It's sure. And in some cases for 17 years.
Yep, exactly.
But the one that you seem to be all about isn't Tinder. It's farmersonly.com.
Farmersonly.com. Farmersonly.com. I don't think that was the exact tune, but yeah, because you learn how are our farmers hooking up, man? They're sitting out there with their arugula or whatever they got. I think it's important that they date.
Yeah.
I haven't signed up yet, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that your wife won't let you is going to be a thing.
Yeah, the fact that you're married might be what is stopping you.
She goes out of town a lot, so.
How do you know she's not on there?
Yeah, right?
When I was in Australia a couple months ago, we were in the middle of nowhere, and this woman who was taking us out on a tour of Kangaroo Island said she only moved to this remote part of Australia because she was told that's where she could find a farmer to marry. And guess what she married?
A farmer.
A farmer. She wanted to live on like a big bunch of acreage and grow her own plants and be in nature. So she says the best dating advice she ever got was move to Kangaroo Island and you'll find a farmer to marry.
Now, imagine thinking that person was giving you good advice. When they said, oh, so you're looking for a husband. How about Kangaroo Island in the middle of nowhere, Australia? But it worked out for her.
It worked.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you get really good or really bad dating advice.
I think Amy, who was very young when I met her, 24 years old, had been given really bad advice. I don't know if it was by her mom or her sisters or some guy or whatever. But so we'd been going out a little while, and I'm twice her age. I know what I want out of life a little bit. And as I'm leaving her house one day, I said, what are you doing Saturday? And she goes, oh, I think I'm real busy Saturday. And I said, oh, all right. So I call her up Saturday night around 8, and she answers the phone. I said, what are you doing? She goes, oh, nothing. And I said, you're supposed to be busy. Why did you tell me you were busy? And she goes, I think she said, my mom told me I was supposed to look unavailable sometimes.
Oh.
So that was a real thing for girls.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was real, but yeah, somebody told her, be unavailable. And I said, don't do that. It's a bad, bad mood. Would you like to see me? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'm coming over. And I came over, and now we're married.
Oh,
Yeah, it's cute as hell.
I can understand that, though. Don't seem like too eager.
Right. That's exactly it.
And sometimes that's good advice. Sometimes it's not, because then you guys might not be married.
I remember it's from that book, The Rules. That's what it was. Remember that book? It was just flying off the shelves everywhere, but he was talking about it, and it said that exactly.
Jeez.
Don't look available.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, have you ever gotten really good or maybe some really bad relationship and dating advice? Share your story by calling 800-252-1025 or text 90627.
You know, if you want to get married to a good man, have kids, move yourself to Kangaroo Island. I would think bad advice, but apparently not. My wife said she thought she was supposed to look busy and unavailable, and you might have never gotten married that way. At least with me, I move on real fast. You know, I don't like to be alone. So the question is, have you ever gotten some really good or some really bad dating advice? Here's the number, 1-800-252-1025.
Let's hear from our friend Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, Danny in Seattle. How you doing?
Good. What's up, buddy?
Hey, not too much. I don't know if I conveyed it properly to Derek, but I'll try to explain it real quickly.
Sure.
When I was younger and single and everything like that, like most guys, I was attracted to the hotties, the knockouts, the cheerleader type, whatever. But I was often told that they don't make the best companions or whatever like that, because if you see her and if you want her, then probably everybody else does. And if she's available, there's probably a reason why she was available. If she wasn't good enough for anybody else, why she should be good enough for you?
So what you're saying is the advice you heard when you were a kid, and I heard it too, is if she's super hot and available, specifically even available to you, there's something wrong with that girl.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with me. I heard that too. I don't care. 7 different kinds of crazy. I don't really care. There's things like if you kill bunny rabbits for no good reason, well, that's going to slow down our dating process. But if you go on weird crying jags or you have a drinking problem, I just find all that window dressing and kind of neat.
Okay, some unusual dating advice that I got was from one of my girlfriends who said when you go out on a date, don't shave your legs, because that way you won't be tempted
I've heard that.
to go further than you want to go.
I've heard that. That's the other thing, because I've heard that one, and I also heard, of course, don't have sex on your first date to women. For sure, you'll seem too needy. You'll be the girl that sleeps around, whatever. I, again, disagree with that one, at least for me personally, and I have married at least 2 women I had sex with on the first date. One of, as you mentioned, I stayed with for 17 years and had 2 nice kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't listen to too many people.
Right.
Go after what you want.
But if you don't, prepare down there, if you don't have shaved legs, then you might not be tempted. And
I
you'll
shave my
stop.
legs every time on the first date. Smooth.
800-252-1025. Have you ever gotten some really good or really bad relationship and dating advice? Give us a call. How about Michelle in Bellevue?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. My girlfriend told me to change my profile. I was being a little bit too serious, so we took everything out. We made a total spoof of it, and I basically said, I don't want to go hiking with the village idiot. I don't want to be stuck on a road trip. I'd rather go to a dive bar and have a beer, and I would get 100 hits a day on that.
I was going to say, I want to go out with you right now. I want to go to a dive bar and have a beer
Yeah.
immediately.
So what happened, Michelle? Did you wind up meeting someone, a forever person on these sites?
I actually took it down for a while, and we redid it, and I was kind of took out the beer stuff, and now I don't get. No, I mean, I just want to go to a beer and have a ball game and meet a nice guy.
You're doing something wrong, Michelle. I'm telling you, and I'm not kidding around. I'm just going to say, an attractive young lady, has a job, whatever it is. You seem really normal to me, and you want to have a beer at the ballpark, and you're available. You're most guys' dream.
Yeah.
I want to have a beer at the ballpark, because most people think you want to go to a $300 dinner and then we'll put out.
Right.
You want to have a $12
That's true.
beer at Safeco. All right. If I was single, I'd be asking for your number right now.
But she also wants to make sure she finds somebody who will take her to the $300 dinner if the occasion arises, and not someone who just thinks she's all about a dive bar.
Okay, I'm sorry I threw out that number. If you asked to go to a $300 dinner, I'm breaking up with you. It's $150 tops.
Sorry, Michelle.
Have you gotten some really good or really bad dating advice? That's the question we're asking. Here is Anthony in University Place.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you. What do you got?
Well, like I said, after years of relationship experience, well, maybe not that many, but, quite a few, I've come up with 2 things. Number one, all relationships should have very good communication.
Right?
Okay? And number 2, never marry or date a girl from a state you hate.
Oh, funny. That seems like good advice.
It seems like good advice, but does everybody immediately have a state they hate?
Iowa.
Florida, yeah. Everybody hates Florida, right?
See, I don't have one. You're hot.
North
Internet.
Dakota.
Well, it's stupid. All right, I'll give you that
All
one.
right, so now don't ever date anybody from North Dakota.
I'm not dating. I'm not fracking with a girl from North Dakota.
We work here with a guy who is from South Dakota, and he is from East South Dakota, middle of Nowheresville. So imagine when he's got a relationship, he's got to take them back to the middle of Nowheresville.
You know,
To go see the family?
I don't
Yeah,
mean to be rude, but if I'm a girl and I meet a guy in South Dakota and your home or place you're taking me is more than 20 minutes, I would just assume I'm being killed. This guy's going to take me out of the woods or whatever they have, and I'm going to get killed.
But imagine, like, you go see Amy's family a lot. They're
lot.
in Sacramento.
Yep.
What if they lived in Fargo?
That's too far to go.
I see
That
what
was
you did there.
adorable to laugh. You should have chest colds more often.
How about Renee calling from Bothell?
Hey, Renee.
Good morning,
What's up?
everybody.
Good morning.
People.
What
Well,
do you mean, Bill?
the relationship. You get into a relationship. This is super true. You have got to first of all have your own identity and know your place. We all have a place, whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever you believe in. So you have to have that fulfilled. You have to be sustaining your own life, know who you are, and be in the place you want to be. Because if you're going to look for somebody else to fill a void or make you complete, you're going to be in deep trouble.
Well,
That ain't gonna
that sounds like good advice, but may I give you a one-word summation on your point of view, and that would be that's why you meet somebody, to fill all the holes in your life. That's why you want companionship. You want to be with the person who is everything that you're not. For example, my wife is super sweet and nice and always tells the truth, and that I am me, and we fit perfectly well together.
Hi, how about Melanie in Bonnie Lake?
Hey, Melanie.
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean,
What do you
you
mean, you
people?
Well, I always told my daughter when she was growing up and dating to always remember where you meet them is what you get.
What do you mean? So, like, Michelle, if she meets them at the dive bar, she's meeting that kind of person?
That's pretty much, if you meet them at a bar, you pretty much get a drunk or somebody that likes to party a lot.
Interesting concept. That's possible. I met Matt
No,
at work. He likes to work a lot.
It's totally possible. I've met most of my girlfriends till I was marrying age in bars. And yeah, they weren't of the best ilk, if you will.
You
So
met
yeah.
Amy at a Starbucks, and look at her
Yeah,
addiction
that's a
to
place.
Starbucks.
That's a place where you go and you take your laptop and a fancy newspaper and you read and computer, whatever. Yeah, all right, I'm good with that one.
Roy and Fife, have you gotten some good or bad dating advice?
Well, good morning, Liquid Sunshine.
I don't know what you're talking to, but all right. Good morning, Roy.
Hey, so, I had to sanitize this, for the health, but, and this is the one, I never listened to it, but never hook up with the bartender.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Oh, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, you hook up with the bartender. You totally get your drinks. You get at least half your drinks free with a little wink and a nod. And when you break up with that bartender, you go to a new dive bar and you meet Michelle. Whoever that was.
How about you, Joe and Lake Stevens?
Hey, happy hump day, what's up?
What's up?
Wow, that was it from the sternum there. What do you got for us there, Joe?
Okay, so this is advice to all the guys out there. If you've met the woman that you think is the one, and you want to know what she looks like 30 years from now, take a really close look at her mother.
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot.
I've heard that a lot too, but Amy's mom's totally hot, and I go, oh, okay, but now, I've gotten caught looking at my mother-in-law's butt at least 2 or 3 times. I can be a hot
looking at your mother-in-law's
Yeah,
butt.
that's the thing. That's the thing. But I appreciate your point of view there, Joe.
Paul, have you gotten good or bad dating advice?
Yeah, somebody once told me never laugh at your wife's choices because you're one of them. And I think and I want to say that my wife Holiday has a fantastic judgment.
Yeah,
she does,
exactly.
really does, in every
It's
situation.
weird knowing our
hilarious.
all in places. I would say that you're right about that, to think your wife has awesome judgment. I just can't help but be more realistic. My wife's got to be a lunatic. Who would walk around and go, yeah, Danny Bonaducci and all his baggage. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Tori, have you gotten good or bad dating advice?
My mom always told me never go to bed angry or with a knife in your hand.
Two of
good
my
advice.
girlfriends and possibly one wife should have listened to that.
And I mean, the signs were there because she was killing small animals at a young age.
Oh,
so-
yeah, right.
This is true. Derek, you?
I have always been told that if you date someone older, then they're going to have a better relationship. But it turns out age has no bearing on how crazy a person is.
No, that's true.
That's sage advice.
I would have to say that somewhere in the future we'll have to get that story, because that's about some girl
yeah,
for sure.
for sure. But right now, it's time to play Who's the Cooper?
Who's the Cooper?
You can win tickets to see Alice Cooper on August 19th at Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett. If you want to play and win the tickets, call right now, 800-252-1025. The beautiful Billy Squire on 102.5 KZOK. We are playing the game that's sweeping the nation, Who's the Cooper, for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Alice Cooper August 19th at Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett. Now, in order to win this very complicated game, well, you need to name the Cooper from Danny's Clue, and it'll be a famous Cooper. Our contestant is Dave in
You're
Bellevue.
giving away too many hints.
Famous?
Why don't you just tell us their names,
Yeah,
Sarah?
for God's
Cooper?
sakes. Oh,
Maybe.
maybe not.
It could be...
I think you should stop.
Yeah, maybe. There are a limited number of Coopers, by the way.
Dave in Bellevue is our contestant.
Hi, Dave. How the hell are you?
I'm here. How the hell are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes, I do.
All right, then. Do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes, I do.
Here we go. Who's the Cooper whose legend is as big in the Pacific Northwest as that of Bigfoot? He was last seen on board Flight 305 the night before Thanksgiving in 1971. He bought a ticket from Portland to Seattle for just $20, which is a hell of a deal, but that was back in the good old days when you could smoke on planes and stewardesses were still called stewardesses, and 200 grand in ransom was still a lot of money. Can you tell us who's the Cooper?
I think it's D.B. Cooper.
I think it's D.B. Cooper.
You're right. Congratulations. Dave's clapping for himself.
He
I love
should.
it. Dave's going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up his tickets to see Alice Cooper August 19th at Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett. We will play another round tomorrow at 7:20. Another chance for you to win your way in to see Alice Cooper. But coming up next is the big news of the day.
This traffic report is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino. Taking a look at the road waves, and in Bellevue on 148th Avenue southbound at Main Street, we do have an accident there that is closing the road, causing some minor delays. And on I-5 northbound, you're going to see some slow traffic near Lacey as you make your way between Marvin Road and the Nisqually Cutoff Road. Take your expectations to a whole new level, a place where excitement flourishes and dull cannot exist, all just minutes from Seattle. Snoqualmie Casino is Seattle's closest casino, just off I-90 at exit 27. Raise the bar on what's possible. Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This weather report is brought to you by Community Transit. Expect a moderate amount of rain today. Highs will be in the low 50s, and things are looking up for Thursday and Friday. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine and partly cloudy skies. Looking for a career with excellent benefits? Community Transit is hosting a job fair in Everett on March 14th, starting at 10 a.m. For more information, visit communitytransit.org/jobs. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Stay with us, because coming right up, it's the big news of the day.
Some of the big stories. A strange problem has arisen from all this talk of space travel. I'll tell you what the dangers are. Not what you'd expect.
All right.
Another day, another company selling tasteless outfits for kids. And a teen stole mommy and daddy's credit card to throw a party. What could possibly go wrong? And Amy Schumer has a hilarious reason she won't be taking her new husband's last name next.
Well, I'm certainly not big, and I'm definitely not new, but it's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
We keep hearing about space travel, about Elon Musk sending people to the moon and to Mars, and that they're going to start with just regular space travel, that you could just go up into the stratosphere or wherever.
And space being all over the news today anyway with Stephen Hawking's unfortunate passing.
That's right. Well, NASA says there are a lot of stresses of space travel, and the latest one, per Live Science, is quite unusual. Now, remember the twin brothers, Scott and Mark Kelly?
Sure.
They both are astronauts, both went to space. Scott took a year-long trip to the International Space Station. He had a lower body mass, altered gut bacteria. He had a growth spurt of 2 inches, and now they no longer have identical DNA.
What do you mean? Okay, now the officially weirdness.
Super strange. They believe, NASA said in a statement, that Scott's journey into the cosmos has triggered chemical changes in his RNA and DNA that have resulted in what's called space genes, which affect his immune system, eyesight, bone formation, and other bodily functions.
In a negative way?
Some of it, yes. He's still in a lot of pain.
So if he had to prove that his children were in fact his children, he couldn't.
Ooh.
Is that right? Because he has different DNA.
The DNA is different, and I don't know on what specific levels, if it would work for his kids or not. I didn't even think of that.
And if he wanted to commit murder and blame it on the twin, he's out of luck on that one, too.
First thing I would do, not murder, but I rob a bank.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I meant, rob a bank.
Yeah, you're killing a guy for no profit.
Sorry.
You always see the sci-fi shows, the sci-fi movies, and everyone's just living in space. It's not super good for you.
Yeah, well, they'll fix that. Like when Musk gets us to Mars, those places will sleep in some kind of hyperbaric chamber, so your DNA will not be altered on the 23 million light year ride or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then the cities that you live in up there will all be, pressurized and that kind of stuff.
Scary.
Yeah, but you know what? We're learning this new stuff because it's becoming closer and closer to a reality. Living in space.
I mean, it's gonna be bad for the first couple of generations, but isn't everywhere like? The first couple generations in America didn't have the greatest of luck, right?
Sure, like
life's
going to
be tough on Mars,
and
right? The first people who go to Mars are probably going to encounter some problems.
So you're telling me if I'm the first generation to go to Mars, somebody's going to take all my stuff and give me diseases?
Yeah, pretty much,
and make me live in some special area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I don't want to be in that group because you can see historically that doesn't work out fair.
Or that's what you're going to do to the Martians that are already there.
Not me. I'm a sweetheart of a guy.
A major British supermarket and retailer has pulled a costume from shelves after receiving a series of complaints from parents. This is Tesco, the name of the grocery store, and it was slammed on social media after the costume aimed at kids 7 to 9. It is a red fox hunter's jacket. Parents are claiming that this is encouraging children to take up the what they say is a highly cruel animal blood sport that is now banned in England. Now, it is legal.
Okay, make me mad at it, because so far I'm not.
Is there a special outfit you wear just for hunting red fox?
Yeah, jodhpurs or something ridiculous. I'd be mad about that. If you get a picture of your dad who's going on a fox hunt with Prince Charles or whoever, and he's in these short pants and the silly helmet and ruffles, I'm pretending that's not my dad.
They do wear jodhpurs, and they wear a long, it looks like almost a tuxedo jacket from the olden days with the tails in the back. But it's
Except
red.
It's usually red, right?
It is a red, like very remarkable. Like you would know it when you see it.
If you said, Danny Bonducci, I want you to take up the red fox hunt, I would take you to Forest Lawn because that's where the famous red fox is buried.
Well, they have said they will take it out of their
stores. And then I would say, I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming. Having the big one. This is it.
That's a Sanford Son joke for those of you playing along at home.
Yeah, if he didn't get it, he didn't deserve it.
West Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old girl used her parents' credit card without their permission to rent out a luxury home and throw a party. This happened last weekend. Several complaints were given to police saying there's a major disturbance. There's so many young kids here. The noise is crazy. Well, what happens when you're 14 and you throw a house party, typically?
Everybody starts breaking stuff and jumping in the pool and making out before your third date.
Well, you invite 10 people and 200 show up.
Right.
So 200 kids showed up.
And you sit around playing Eddie Murphy tunes, which is weird.
But they're Canadian. I mean, aren't they polite? Don't they say sorry?
No, they're just sorry that it happened.
Yeah.
Well, the party grew out of control, and exactly what Danny said, they smashed everything they could get their hands on while listening to Eddie Murphy. And $20,000 worth of damages.
Wow.
Jeez.
And mommy and daddy have to pay that.
Yep.
And usually I would say rightly so, but it seems like these kids were smart enough to finagle all this. They should be smart enough to find a way to pay for the damage.
Well, the parents said, please don't press charges. We will pay for it. We're sorry. And the homeowner agreed, said, okay, pay for everything. It's about $20,000. And I'm imagining the kid is in huge trouble. I don't know the
Huge trouble. You're grounded till you're 30.
That's what you should be.
Totally.
Toilet paper.
They should make that kid live in Canada, like as punishment. No?
Sure, whatever, man.
He already does. Toilet paper is something.
It got funny.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
We just don't really think about. You go to the grocery store, you go to the Rite Aid, you just throw in a pack of toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
Well, there are a bunch of people like Paul, Amish type people, who are
Don't
now.
tell me you make your own toilet paper. That's gross.
No, we got to draw the line somewhere.
Well, I say people like Paul because you remember when Jelly Bean was an infant and wasn't potty trained yet, what did they use?
Cloth diapers.
Cloth diapers.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I thought it was something tricky. Okay, cloth diapers.
There is a new movement to replace
That's
toilet
why
paper.
that's why you have diapers for the new movement. Who cares about the old movement?
You use a towel, a small towel instead of TP, and then wash it. It goes in a special bin, and then you wash it and reuse it.
Ew.
It's gross.
Paul, not
gross.
even you going to take part in this
No,
one?
I'm going to pass on that one.
I say no diapers at all, and you just make them go in the shower.
Ew.
Ew.
You just wash everybody off. You don't have to touch anything.
Yeah, but they're not always near the shower, in the shower.
That's the whole point. They're not potty trained. They can't just say, Dad, I need to go to the shower.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Cloth toilet paper.
Babies are gross, man.
So are adults. Cloth. Imagine you go to somebody's house and they have cloth toilet paper.
Yeah, it's
Ew.
gross. No, I'm against all of this.
Why not just have a bidet? You know, if you're that worried about using all the paper.
What are you going to do tomorrow if you have a bidet?
That's a good point. Just start
I would
putting
use
in
the bidet again.
Because I have a kind of bidet.
Yeah?
And it makes me very, very happy.
your Japanese toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if it hits just the right spot, it makes you very emotional.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Comedian and actress Amy Schumer just got married
Yeah.
to a chef. And
It's not a surprise to me.
Why not, Danny?
Because she's a big girl, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So
So that is what you meant.
Yeah, that's totally what I meant.
Amy Schumer got married to
Does
a
she look
chef.
to you like she skipped a meal?
No,
No, I mean,
she-
in a bad way. Half of her new movie is about that she sees herself red hot in the mirror, yet she's still big. And so she joins in things like, and this is very brave of her, in bikini contests and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what the whole movie's about.
So Amy Schumer married Chris Fisher, and she was asked afterwards, well, are you going to change your name?
That's funny. She can't.
She said, hell no. She said, because I don't want to be confused with the attempted killer turned porn star. She said, I am keeping my last name. I am from Long Island, and I am not Amy Fisher,
Nice.
the Long Island Lolita. For those of you who don't remember, at 17, she shot her lover's wife in the face and served jail time and then did some porn.
I forgot that she did porn. I know. What did Buttafuoco also do porn?
I don't recall.
Oh, what kind of porn would a guy named Buttafuoco do? I think there's only one kind for you.
Yeah, so Amy Fisher will stay the only Amy Fisher, and Amy Schumer will stay Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer is maybe the funniest lady since Joan Rivers, I think.
She is very funny, and I applaud her for not being Amy Fisher.
What's that movie she did, Captured or Ransomed or something, with Goldie Hawn, which should have been a home run and wasn't?
Overboard? I
Yeah,
forget.
no. Overboard's coming out again.
was
What
a
mistake.
great movie,
It was a
Overboard.
great movie with Kurt Russell. Ugh.
That's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online at goldbergjones.com.
Hey, there is more coming right up. It's Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
And now, Jelly Bean's joke of the week.
What's up there, Uncle Daddy?
What's up, Jelly Bean?
Are you ready for my joke?
Can't wait.
Why did the nose raise its hand in class?
It just sounds funny right on the surface, but I don't know, sweetheart. Why did the nose raise its hand in class?
Because it knows the answer and it wants the teacher to pick it. Get it?
Yeah. Nose, pick.
I'm so funny.
You are so funny. Hey, remember this, Jelly Bean. You can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't rub your friends behind the couch. Take that from me.
This traffic report is brought to you by Target Zero. On I-5 northbound at the Nisqually River Bridge, we do have an accident there causing some stop-and-go traffic. And on Highway 99 southbound, as you approach Seneca Street in Seattle, there's a disabled vehicle currently blocking the right lane. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Spring officially starts next week. Now is the perfect time to go to Shane Company in Linwood to shop their latest color fashion trends in jewelry. These are designs made specially for spring, and they've got necklaces, earrings, rings, bracelets, you name it. Whether you want something to just make your wardrobe look nicer, or if you're looking for a special gift, celebrating an anniversary, now's the time to go to Shane Company. You can also go to the website, shaneco.com. Now, they've got beautiful designs for March. The birthstone for March, it's aquamarine, which is a sky blue gemstone, and the color is absolutely amazing. You're going to find a huge selection of really gorgeous aquamarine jewelry that would make a perfect gift. Plus, at Shane Company, it's going to be special because they have different designs. They have their own design team making beautiful things for you. Plus, every purchase will come with a lifetime warranty for free. So shop in Shane Co. this spring season. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company.
It is 8:02, and I want to remind you to get the iHeartRadio app. It's free. It tailors radio stations just to your what the kind of stuff that you like. It's what you always hoped that technology would do. Pump in one of your songs that you really like. Next thing you know, there's 5 songs, 7 songs that you like. Get your iHeartRadio app today.
We were talking about Anthony Bourdain and Barack Obama, that in Thailand, they filmed an episode of Anthony Bourdain's show.
Was it in Thailand?
Yep.
Wow.
Or is it Vietnam? No, it's
Might
Thailand.
have been Vietnam.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
think
Vietnam.
it was Vietnam, yeah.
Sorry. So the restaurant they ate at, a lot of people go there because that's where Anthony Bourdain and Barack Obama sat down.
I sometimes tailor my vacations, not my vacations entirely, but where I look it up. Anthony Bourdain, like these 5 restaurants in Rome and Paris, whatever it is, and then I will tailor my vacation to that guy.
Well, people are now, people travel a lot to Vietnam anyway. It's a beautiful country, a lot of tourism, but they go specifically to this tiny little restaurant, and now that table they sat at has been enshrined in glass.
Enshrined in glass.
Like a museum. But people were going out of their way, so they decided, okay, we're going to take advantage of it. This was a piece of history.
Yeah.
So
the Vampires Club we talked about with Alice Cooper. I think John Lennon was in, but didn't really attend meeting. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. Mm-hmm. Well, they scratched their names into this table and chairs at the Rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And what was funny about that, they enshrined that in glass, but everybody just sat around doing cocaine off it. So they enshrined it in something else, but that's a real thing.
But a lot of people will go out of their way to see a piece of history, whether it's pop culture history or, people going out of their way to go see the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia.
Yeah, sure. We only had to go about a mile.
Yeah, but it was such a big part of history that's one of the things I loved about Philadelphia is you could go to Betsy Ross's house. You could go to Constitution Plaza.
Benjamin Franklin right there.
Right. A lot of people will plan a vacation around seeing a piece of history. I know that your wife has gone to Liverpool several times to see a piece of history, and that's the Beatles.
I have gone with her. I've gone to John Lennon's house and Paul McCartney's house and where the Beatles played. So, for a pop culture reference, of which I probably have 10, I like the way we vacation these days. But, of course, you wouldn't be an Italian unless you went to Italy to stand outside the Colosseum, with your arm across your chest and say, "We are about to die, salute you." So for history, I've gone to Rome specifically for the history and to go to the Roman Colosseum and act like a gladiator.
Yeah. Oh, God, I thought that was like a goosebump invoking experience. Well, you guys listening, when have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history? You can call us 800-252-1025 or text 90627.
The table and chairs where Anthony Bourdain had a bowl of noodle soup with President Obama is now encased in glass because everybody's going there to see it. I've traveled to Liverpool for a bit of the Beatles, and I've traveled to Rome for the Colosseum. The question is, where have you traveled for a little piece of history? 1-800-252-1025.
Good morning, Ken in Seattle.
Hey, Ken in Seattle.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're great. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I agree with you. Coliseum would be an awesome adventure to go see. That architectural masterpiece.
Yep, it is. It's pretty. Like, you look at it and something about you changes because you realize, oh, I've seen something I'll never see again. The world will never see again.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
Well, my wife and I went on vacation a couple years ago to Hawaii, and she asked me, she goes, "What's the one thing in Hawaii that you'd want to see if we went?" And I said, "I want to see the Arizona. It's always been something that's, been interesting. I've always thought the history of Pearl Harbor was awesome, so we went to Oahu for 8 days, so it was really cool."
And did you see the Arizona?
Yes, I did. It was an awesome. It's breathtaking when you walk on, and
it is.
You got to go into the back room. It's really cool.
It is absolutely breathtaking. Good on you too, by the way. You can read about history, but in today's society, you can see it real life, not on Google, which is a great thing. I Google day and night. I love it. But I've stood at the Coliseum, man, and nothing can change that. If you get a chance to do that or anything like that, I highly recommend you do it. And by the way, you can do it in your car. I went to, is it Renton? I went to Renton to see Jimi Hendrix's grave.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally history. That's as big as any other history in my book.
A lot of people travel to Seattle to seek out specific pieces of history. A lot of people go to Aberdeen to see the birthplace of Nirvana.
They're wrong.
Well, I know there's nothing there, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of why you go there and realize.
Because you get to see, this is what made him write songs like that.
Exactly. Brian and Fife, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Years ago, I had press credentials for a space shuttle launch, and I got to go through the VAB with Space Shuttle Columbia. I was standing right on top of it, looking down, not actually on the space shuttle, and it was just amazing.
That's a big piece of history.
Yeah, by the way, I will tell you this, Brian, if you would like to do something like that again, the Museum of Flight right here has a whole a space shuttle.
Yep.
Right there. I mean, I stood in the controls. I know I did it because I'm a jerk, but I found the space toilet fascinating that they had.
Right?
Yeah. So good on you there, Brian.
When have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history? Let's talk with Sam in Everett.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, how are you guys today?
We're doing very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got?
There's a place in California called Goldstone, California, which is an array of deep space tracking antennas. And years ago, I went to watch the Mariner antenna bring in the data from the Mariner space probe. And so that was the original data coming in from deep space, which was pretty cool.
Are you talking about the place with all those giants ranging in size satellite dishes that it's at least 10 acres of ground?
Absolutely. And this one was the largest one, steerable one in the world. It was 210 feet in diameter. It was a big antenna.
I heard about that place my whole life, and I kind of didn't believe it existed, or it existed. I lived my whole life in California, and I drove up and down the coast since I was 16. I never saw it, but you see that on TV. That's an amazing thing.
Growing up on the East Coast, a very important part of history for kids was going to Washington, D.C. to see the White House.
Sure.
Going to see the history of our country. And you don't typically get to go inside, but you stand there and you stare at it, and you go to the Smithsonian. And
they have tours of the White House where they did when I was a kid, that like a special tour, but you don't have to be anybody to get it. You just buy the right ticket, and you can go for a tour inside many of the rooms of the White House. And I think it's worth doing.
What about you, Joshua and Lacey? Have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're right there.
Hey, Danny.
Hey.
Hey, you might remember this too, but many years ago, I went to a steam and gas engine show. That there's a town down in Lewis County that puts it on. It's called. Its name is Toledo, and many years ago when I went there, this was kind of a surprise thing. But one of the things that showed up was an old steam fire engine from 1899.
Wow!
And I don't remember if it was Los Angeles or San Francisco, but they had a great fire in 1906.
It was San Francisco after the earthquake.
Yeah, and the machine actually fought that fire.
Well, I would have loved to have seen it because I don't know how they can that they functionally fought fires and disasters with the equipment they had in 1906. It was that earthquake that brings us the rule that houses in San Francisco need to be 4 inches apart because everything burnt the next thing down.
Oh yeah.
Yo, in Olympia.
Oh, yo, thanks. Hi. How are you, yo?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people? So I just wanted you to say, I want to tell you, I have eaten 19 cookies and 1,200 gumdrops.
And it's all your fault, yo.
It's all your fault, yo.
Thank you for the care package, yo. Full of Easter treats. You're awesome.
Especially the part where the little egg things are actually black licorice because everybody hates them but me, so I got to eat the whole bag. So, all right, what do you got for us? First of all, thank you, and what do you got for us?
Oh, well, you're welcome, and I send you treats because you treat me to a wonderful show every day.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She's a sweet kid.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to us.
So, my story is that my father-in-law, when Mount St. Helens was erupting, told my husband, get in the car, and they drove as close as they could until the police stopped them and watched the volcano blow up.
Holy moly.
Holy moly, but, I would call shenanigans. How is it possible that you were married to a grown-up when Mount St. Helens went?
This is her husband's story.
Oh, so somebody grabbed her husband, who was not her husband.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got
at
it. I'm going, I don't think this makes mathematical sense. You were 11 if you were that old.
Thank you, yo.
Thanks, yo.
Joe in Illinois texted us at 90627. He went to Darwin's house, Charles Darwin's house, which apparently 90 minutes by train from London. You can go there and check out Charles Darwin's house.
Paul, have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history?
Pop culture history, in that I went to the campus of University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana, and went on a regular campus tour. And then I snuck away from the tour while we were in the football stadium so that I could run out on the field like I was Rudy.
Aww.
I could just hear him chanting, Rudy, Rudy. And then I was like, wait a second, that's not my name. Why is my fantasy for them to chant somebody else's name?
I took my lovely wife, and early on in our relationship, across the border into Tijuana, where the Caesar salad was invented.
Yeah, that's on my list of things to do.
You should do it. It's just a place. I
don't care.
Okay,
it's history.
You'll love it. And they make the same thing. They make the same salad and do all the same rigmarole that makes it. So, yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah, that is a piece of history. What about Todd in Redmond?
Hiya, Todd.
Hi. Yes, in 1993, I visited Vietnam. You talked about the Anthony Bourdain episode with President Obama. I saw that episode. While in Vietnam, I didn't go specifically to see, but I got to see the U.S. Embassy in Saigon, the original embassy that's no longer there.
You're talking about the embassy that had a helicopter on top of it and a line of men, women, and children trying to get the hell out of there, right?
Correct, absolutely.
That
was a real treat.
That would bring a tear to my eye, I think. Because the great thing that some of these women and children got to go, babies got handed to Marines, craziness. But you cry for the ones just sitting there at the ladder that didn't make it. They had to take off when they had the full weight.
I went to the KGB museum when I was in Estonia just to see what they did. They showed you all the microphones they used to hide and ashtrays and stuff and the little pieces of a deck of cards that would then have a needle that could shoot out and get you. And it's morbid.
But we are good. We're good at that stuff too. But our best spying, as far as I'm concerned, that I have seen is the mafia. Like what John Gotti and all those people said, well, we can't talk here. I don't know how it's bugged, but it's bugged. Let's go outside. And they bugged specific trees.
That's crazy.
That they passed every day and then hired lip readers.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on.
What about you, Zach and Sultan? You gone out of your way to see a piece of history?
Oh, good morning, folks.
Morning.
When I was a kid, teenager, my dad was stationed in Germany, which was scary enough during the Cold War.
Sure.
It's 59 to 62. And in 62, I was fortunate enough to go to Berlin. And I saw it was right after they built the wall, and they were still, I think, in the process of topping it off or something. But people had just jumped off and getting away, and they had died in the streets. There were wreaths and crosses, and they were just blocking up windows and doors and buildings, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
But we were protected by our troops.
What a thing to see as a kid.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And just experienced history.
That was the difference between, say, no reasonable person wants the wall that goes from Mexico to wherever. That's a terrible idea. But the bad guys mount these walls and shoot people for trying to escape their own countries. That's what, in the Cold War, that was a bad deal.
Tori, have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history?
Yeah, so my family was on a road trip to Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and we went out of our way to go see Churchill Downs, and we got a private tour because nobody was really there. We got to go on the racetrack, and we saw Street Sense, who was the Kentucky Derby winner.
That's
of that.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, did you wear a crazy hat?
No, I wish I did though.
Yeah, you got to wear. If you're a girl and you get the chance to wear one of those crazy hats, you
Yeah,
should.
with
The
ya.
mid julep. What's wrong with you?
Oh, yummy.
Don't disappoint me.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And Derek, have you gone out of your way to see a piece of history?
I went to the theater where Lincoln was shot, and when I showed up, I had fish and chips that I was eating, and then I saw a sign outside that said no food or beverage, but these fish and chips were delicious, and I didn't want to throw them away, so when I got to the door, I told the guy, like, you have to let me bring this in. Lincoln loved fish and chips. It was his favorite food. It's an honor to him and a tribute to him. And the guy said, I don't care if Lincoln cooked you those fish and chips. They're too messy. You cannot bring them inside.
Not the way I saw that going. That was wonderful.
This traffic report is brought to you by Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel. On I-405 northbound in Renton at 30th Street, we have an accident blocking the shoulder. And over on I-5 northbound as you approach Albro Place in Seattle, there's a disabled vehicle currently blocking the right lane. Every Saturday, Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel has special offers to thank all our military and first responders. Join them between 8 a.m. and midnight to receive $10 in free play and a 25% food discount in any of their restaurants. Details at lucklyeagle.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This weather report is brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. More rain showers in your forecast today. We'll be seeing cooler temperatures with highs in the low 50s. It's currently 45 in downtown Seattle, and you can expect some sunshine on Thursday and Friday. Sherry's Springberry pancakes are here. Choose from blueberry, raspberry, or triple berry toppings with whipped cream and powdered sugar on a stack of fresh, fluffy buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. Add eggs, breakfast meat, and hash browns for $3 more. Sherry's, simply great food. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
A 29-year-old Yakima man is accused of ramming a sheriff's deputy patrol vehicle with a stolen pickup truck. The deputy stopped the man driving the pickup for a minor traffic violation and then asked him to step out of the vehicle once he realized that the vehicle was stolen. Instead of complying, authorities say the man drove off. A pursuit ensued. The driver finally came to a halt and then rammed the back of the pickup truck into the deputy's vehicle. He then tried to bite the cop as he took him into custody.
You know, I got to tell you, it sounds like that guy's got the worst luck in the world, but he's very lucky. You absolutely, rightly, and honestly can start shooting when they hit your car, your cop car, with their car. That's attempted murder. I've seen it done. That guy's lucky to be alive. I bet he doesn't feel it that he's all that lucky, but he is.
Lewis County crews have finished cleaning up a hoarder property after nearly a month of work effort. Steve Skinner, the leader of Solid Waste Division of Lewis County Public Works, says 800 tons of assorted trash was removed from the Centralia property. This cost the county almost $100,000.
Who's going to pay that?
The man who was the hoarder, his name was Vic Bonagovsky, and he died. He was known for collecting cardboard and other items in a trailer. He would then take everything to his property. They seized the property after foreclosure, but as I said, 800 tons of stuff.
Wow. Do we know if he had any money? Because sometimes those people are super rich.
Well, he had more than 80 junk cars, gallons of used cooking oil. I don't know that he had anything of worth on the property.
Did he have any cats?
I have not heard anything about pets.
Because the bad news with those hoarders is sometimes they die inside all the hoarding, and nobody knows that they're dead, and then their cats eat them, and it's gross.
No, this guy got hit by a train. That's how he died. Your news this morning, by the way, is brought to you by Car Toys. On to Oregon. Crews were summoned to a rural Oregon road when a truck carrying 1,500 gallons of fertilizer rolled over and sprung a leak. Ew. The truck was traveling down a road southwest of Salem. It rolled over and spilled 1,500 gallons of fertilizer.
And immediately a bunch of little trucks sprouted up. It's crazy. That's how you grow.
It never smells good.
Never smells good.
It's a poop fest.
It is a poop fest.
I have a terrible story out of Idaho.
Is it the dead puppy again?
It's another dead puppy.
No way.
It's a different dead puppy.
How many dead puppies are in the news?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, if you missed it earlier in the program, we were talking about a terrible story that has a lot of people talking this morning about a United Airlines flight where the flight attendant asked the dog owners to put the carrier in the overhead bin instead of under their seat. That dog perished.
And it's the little kind of crazy French bulldog that I not only want to get, but it's a like that thing could have been. I was going to say it's worth $2,500, but the fact is, I'll bet to that lady it was priceless.
Sure.
This is a different dog, different story altogether. This is a small eastern Idaho town called Preston. A junior high school biology teacher is under investigation after school district officials say he fed a puppy to a snapping turtle in front of his students.
I'm screaming fake news. This can't have actually happened.
Yeah, I don't even understand like the physics behind it.
Yeah, snapping turtles aren't big enough to how a puppy could put up a decent fight.
Right.
Superintendent Mark G.
I'll fight either one of them, by the way.
told the Idaho Statesman that the incident occurred after school during an after-school animal feeding. He would not reveal a whole lot of details, but the teacher is receiving a complaint of animal cruelty. Now, they are calling this a regrettable circumstance at the school.
See, a circumstance is maybe the puppy was already dead, and he thought it'd be kind of interesting. I mean, I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all.
Someone who witnessed this, another teacher, said they think that the dog was sick, but there is zero reason to have done that. And why is this teacher doing that in front of children?
Okay, that changes everything. That you say somebody who saw this, another teacher who saw it.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, nobody saw this. This is crazy. This didn't happen. I don't know how these stories get started or anything like that. But now a teacher saw it, so I have to go with maybe it did happen. It's so gross. Now, it's wrong, and I am, believe it or not, a respected journalist. And... and governed by FCC rules and all that stuff. So it'd be wrong to like put a bounty on this guy.
Well, they're conducting an investigation, but
I would like to put out of one of the famous Danny Bonaducci kicking the balls bounty, like $300.
I don't think snapping turtles get that big. I mean, I guess the puppy could have been
sick and dying,
and days old, you know.
No, snapping turtles. Remember, I was telling Tori she should wear a crazy hat when going to the horse races?
Yeah.
They could get about the size of a large hat, but they still only have the one weapon, and they're slow. They they don't use their claws or anything like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
You put it into a cage with a turtle. Where's it going? I mean,
away from the turtle. It'll faster than the turtle can go.
But just the size of it. I mean, the puppy would have had to have been a small breed that was just born.
Making it worse, Paul.
Yeah.
I got a call from a lady who used to work with snapping turtles, and she said they're big enough that they can actually, you can get your whole arm in their mouth, and they can snap your wrist in half.
Why would you get your whole arm in their mouth?
I don't know.
Well,
the next time that lady calls, tell her you want more information.
The largest record of snapping turtle is 250 pounds.
Holy moly.
Okay, so some snapping turtles get pretty big.
But that's a world record. The world's tallest man's 11 feet or some such thing. We're not
Derek,
really
what's
that
the
big.
average for a snapping turtle?
Yeah,
average adult snapping turtle, 18 inches. So you're not eating a puppy at 18 inches.
So 18 inches.
Yeah.
World-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76. His family said he died peacefully at home in the early hours of this morning. And the United Kingdom is pointing 23 Russian diplomats the door, saying to pack up and get out after Moscow failed to give an explanation for how the Russian-produced nerve agent Novichok became used as a poison for former spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter.
So...
that nerve agent, if they want people to think it's not Russian, maybe don't give it that name, Novichok or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, as an Italian, if we have nerve gas and it's called lasagna, it's probably us.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the British people are kicking out 24, whatever it was, Russian diplomats.
Yeah. Right.
Is that right? Okay. I was listening as carefully as I
Sorry.
can. I get distracted by candy.
And there's quite a bit of it all
Ton
around the
of
studio,
candy.
too.
I mean, I'm gonna kiss you when I see her, but then I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna kick her fairly hard for bringing us all the candy.
A Kentucky man who spent 11 years in prison for a murder he didn't commit has been awarded $7.5 million by the city of Louisville. Now, he said, whether it's $1 or $10 trillion, I can't get back what has been taken away from me. 15 to 11 years in prison. And
no offense. I've never seen the guy or anything, but what was he going to do with his life?
oh, how do you know he wasn't just like you?
Very few people are just like me. So. But, you know, I figure he's a hardworking man. And where is he? In Louisville, Kentucky?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he's making $11 an hour or some such thing. Instead, you get wrongfully convicted of a crime. Everybody says sorry and throws you a big-ass party and says, here's $7.5 million. I think the guy made out.
You're right. He's the luckiest guy in the world.
He's the luckiest guy in the world.
I would not do 11 years in prison for $7 million.
Oh, man, I'd do 11 years with weird, bad things happening to me for when I get out at $7.5 million.
Well, yesterday we talked about the latest move from the White House with CIA Chief Mike Pompeo moving into the post of Secretary of State.
I'm a fan.
When you reported that as the President Trump announced via Twitter, I thought you just meant, okay, that's, you know, he privately told Tillerson and then he announced it via Twitter. No, that's how Secretary of Twitter, Secretary of State found out that he was no longer Secretary of State.
Yeah.
He read it on Twitter. That's
and then
crazy.
the president called him later.
Yeah.
Well, he also nominated Gina Haspel to replace Pompeo, thus setting her up to be the first woman to run the CIA.
Yeah, all right.
Did he ask her in person, or did he just put that up on Facebook?
I'm not sure how he made this announcement, but she is coming with some controversy. This nomination has to be confirmed by the Senate, and critics are likely to raise her links to the controversial waterboarding program. It was reported that she was one of the people who oversaw the CIA's prisons where waterboarding was running rampant. So they are not sure that she is going to go through with flying
I thought that
colors.
was a shameful little time in our history. But then, people trying to explain why they did what they did said, all right, I'm going to use Paul. I'm going to point at you.
Yeah.
And Sarah, I guess you're everybody else in the world. So, Sarah, that man right there has information of a bombing that's going to kill 1,100 Americans, and he won't tell us. Can I chop off one of his fingers or waterboard him or anything? And a lot of folks said, yeah, you're right. Okay. And they were wrong. We should not, I sincerely believe we should not have waterboarded anybody. I think as torture go, it's kind of a punk. Who cares?
Well, why don't you do that? I'll take a video of you, and then I'll destroy the videotapes afterwards.
I don't know what she's saying, but okay.
That's what's alleged to have happened. So there, I guess I said this is going to be met with some controversy.
But it was okay for her to be deputy head of the CIA, but not head of the CIA.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not like, regular Joes were waterboarding these prisoners. A big, important guy. You can't fire them all for saying, hey, that's what we thought was okay for a minute. Yeah. Although it was, in fact, not okay.
Authorities in Maryland say they have charged a former zoo worker accused of taking and illegally keeping venomous snakes and other reptiles from the facility.
Do not sneak those out in your pants.
I don't recall reading a story where someone working at a zoo was stealing the wildlife.
Animals, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I do. It was right. Yeah, I do. I'm not sure if you reported it or not, but it was not that long ago that there was, Bronx Zoo or some such place.
What'd they take?
Venomous snakes.
Oh.
Well, this man has been charged with 23 counts of illegal possession of venomous snakes and animal cruelty. He had 6 western diamondback rattlesnakes.
Scariest thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
1 7-foot forest cobra, 1 Cape coral cobra, and 2 boomslangs.
Wow. All the other scariest things in the world after the first thing.
Yeah, why? They also found, 2 dead cobras in his freezer.
Tori.
Wow, you guys, I hope you're watching Danny TV and just saw that Sarah just almost broke her neck to stare at Tori.
I like venomous snakes now.
Yeah, Brandon, is he one of your co-conspirators putting all the pets in your freezer?
What the hell's Brandon?
That's the name of
Guy
the
who
man.
stole the snakes.
Oh, okay.
A blind Irish
Totally different,
runner.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Totally different. I don't care where you got your story. A crazed blonde did something weird.
Yeah.
She is blonde, but
Yeah.
she's also blind.
All right.
She's Irish.
So how does she know she's blonde?
I know she's blonde because
All
I've
right.
seen her.
She hasn't.
She broke her second Guinness World Record by running 81.09 miles on a treadmill in the span of 12 hours.
Is it a stupid award?
It's got to be easier if you're blind, right? Because somebody just says, "Oh, you're almost there. You're almost. Keep going. You're almost. Oh, it's right up there. Keep going."
Sinead Kane previously.
Oh, I love her songs.
She previously
She's
ran
not blonde though. She's bald, right?
And mad.
7 marathons in 7 days to become the first blind female to complete a marathon on each continent.
So she did those on the street.
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
It's also impressive. I'm pretty sure some guy had to go with her, and he's not getting any accolades at all.
She was born without irises. She only has 5% vision. She is legally blind. 5% vision. I can't imagine she sees anything but shadows.
Yeah.
And now in the Guinness Book of World Records for 2 different feats.
Oh,
I bet
that's
her
amazing.
feet's hurt.
Well, welcome to Stupidville.
Thank you. I fit in well here.
Yeah.
They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you might be able to teach an old dog to turn tricks. That is the case of
What is happening?
Norm Self is an 83-year-old man who just starred in his first gay porn movie.
He was doing straight porn in his 70s, Decided to switch over to gay porn?
Nope, this is his first adult film ever.
Okay.
And they said, well, how was it? And
Painful.
he said it was splendid. Splendid. How could it not be? 83 years old.
Man, I'll tell you, if you're ever bored watching normal porn and you click on the little thing that says grannies, they're all 75 to 85 years old doing, and they do way weirder stuff than young hot girls. Young girls are going, I don't have to do that for $300 or whatever. Grannies do all sorts of craziness.
Well, now you've got a new one to look up.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
A Chinese man was found to be illegally keeping an Asian bear as a pet. He said he got it as a cub and thought it was a puppy.
Wow. Not one of the bright ones.
Yeah, and then it kept growing and growing, and all of a sudden it was 176 pounds, and he didn't know what to do. So he found it in a forest. He's like, oh, here, puppy, puppy. Brings the dog home. A couple years later, it's 176 pounds, and he kept it in a cage. Authorities said it was actually really sweet and in very good health, but you can't do that.
You can't do that, right? Because eventually he'll be late with the groceries or whatever, and that thing will eat his head.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 20 minutes later, still be hungry again. But I will tell you, I was at the Woodland Zoo yesterday, day before yesterday, 9 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
I think it was like a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah.
And now all the exhibits weren't open, redoing stuff, so I don't want to say it's the most amazing animal at the zoo, but it's the most amazing animal we saw were the grizzly bears. Oh my God, the size of Buicks, the size of trucks.
Yeah.
And they, like all the other animals I thought were kind of weird, knew we were there and performed a little bit for us. This giant 2-ton, I don't know, thing just sat on his butt and his hind legs sticking straight out and went straight up 8 feet in the air, whatever it is, and just stared at us like, I'm magnificent. You're just people. They're pretty impressive. So you can't have that in your house.
IKEA has something brand new. They are putting something else into what they create. And it is not a dresser or a chair or a table. Burgers. IKEA said they are taking beef out of their burgers. They are creating new burgers that they are calling the fast food of the future. And some of the burgers are a bug burger. It's made with beetroot, parsnips, potatoes, and mealworm.
Yum.
And
of course it's a mealworm. It's in what you're eating. Why wouldn't it be a mealworm?
The dogless hot dog.
We cannot have dog in it.
They're finally going to stop putting dog in the hot dog?
Instead of meat, it is baby carrots, beets, berry ketchup, turmeric.
Turmeric's yummy.
Then the bun is going to be made of spirulina or microalgae. It is literally green. And, you know, the IKEA meatball is very famous.
Yeah, don't mess with the meatball.
Don't mess with the meatball.
They are going to have a neat ball made from mealworm.
I mean, I'll try all these things, but
Yeah.
it's a kind of a dare. All right, I'm going to try the mealworm thing,
Ew.
and then give me those famous Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
Swedish meatballs.
They believe, like a lot of people do, that this is the future, that we need to find other sustainable sources of
I
protein.
disagree. I think we'll have cows forever. We'll have cows in space.
Yeah.
We'll have cows driving your car, whatever it is, we'll have cows.
News this
Look
morning.
what happened when Oprah Winfrey said something bad about beef. They sued her for $25 million.
News this morning brought to you by Car Toys. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, more facts about Oprah. No.
Cool.
Probably, yeah.
Sure.
Some disturbing news about Guns N' Roses. Some great news for fans of Pearl Jam, and a really weird story about Netflix, plus all the latest sports news.
This traffic report is brought to you by Target Zero. On I-5 northbound at Michigan Street in Seattle, we have a disabled vehicle blocking the center lane. And on 405 northbound in Renton, you're going to see some stop-and-go traffic as you make your way from the Valley Highway all the way up through to Lake Washington Boulevard. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, Slash has gone to court to get a restraining order against a man who has been stalking him.
Right.
Said that the first time he had some real interaction with him was during a Super Bowl party. He convinced Slash's girlfriend that they were good friends. He was let into the home. Slash says, "Who the heck is this guy?" And they asked him to leave. He then became violent outside and started assaulting the house, trying to get back in.
Assaulting the house?
Yeah, like smashed the security camera, tried smashing the door, just anything he could wreak havoc on.
And the Slash, and I know that you may not know all these answers, but is Slash, because it's a casual party for him and his friend, no security or anything?
Correct.
All right.
And this guy has now turned up several different times at get-togethers, parties and such, and the judge has now granted him a restraining order.
Now, when you go and get when you're Slash and you go to get a restraining order, do you have to show up personally in court and the guy has to show up personally in court?
I believe Slash has to show up and give his side of the story as to why he needs one.
Because you notice a lot of times when there's anybody in the news, not just celebrities, but anybody in the news, a lawyer seems to be able to show up on their behalf. I'll bet the judge would just make him show up to go, wow, that's Slash. We had crazy hair. I'm over the nose ring, but what the hell?
Yeah.
Earlier in the week, we told you that Pearl Jam had released a new song called Can't Deny Me.
Yeah.
We played a little bit of it. It does seem to be a political track. And now Pearl Jam has confirmed a new album is on the way. Now, we know they've got the stadium tour coming up. They've got the date here, 2 dates in August here in Seattle.
Crazy.
But a new album is on the way from Pearl Jam. No date yet. And a huge array of music's biggest stars are set to pay tribute to the legend, Elton John.
Okay.
It's a big event called Elvis John, I'm Still Standing, a Grammy Salute. It'll feature...
Elton John.
I would assume that.
What did I say, Elvis John?
Yes.
Yeah. Either way.
But it's cool.
I mean, he looks great in that jumpsuit.
Yeah, he does.
Where did that come from? All right, we've got performances from Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, Miranda Lambert, John Legend, Kesha, Chris Martin, SZA, and more.
Wow.
I mean, it was a great lineup already, and then you added in SZA and more.
Elton John will perform as well. He's the and more.
Nice.
April 1st, CBS. Now, Miley Cyrus will perform The Bitch Is Back. Ed Sheeran will do Candle in the Wind. Lady Gaga will do Your Song. Chris Martin will do All Fall in Love Sometimes. And then Elton John will do 3 songs as well.
Neat. I would watch that.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Who are those first 2 guys? Ed Sheeran and Sam Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think they look alike, but I don't know why. I totally think they're the same guy.
They don't look alike, and they really don't sing alike.
They
either.
don't. No, one sings like a big black lady.
Yeah.
And that's how they introduced him, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know why I get them so confused.
A new Netflix feature is being slammed by child safety experts who say this is an app that undermines parents.
It's called Put This Pod in Your Mouth, which I think is bad. I wouldn't even let my kids watch that.
Well, here's what Netflix is doing. They are allowing children to collect patches by watching TV shows. If you are binging, you get more patches. So what does Jelly Bean watch on Netflix, Paul?
We don't have Netflix, but she watches a lot of Sesame Street, stuff like that.
So
what about SpongeBob SquarePants?
No
What
SpongeBob.
are
No,
you, a crazy
it's not a thing in our house.
Well, say she was watching a big binge of Sesame Street. She
Yeah.
would then collect a patch, which
Now,
are
what kind of
collectible
patch do you get
images
if
that
you're? I'm sorry, if your 6-year-old is watching Game of Thrones, what do you get?
you're not allowed to.
You get your kid taken away.
Power.
These patches are collectible images that you can only access if you've watched certain episodes or a number of episodes. And all these child psychiatrists and child safety experts say you're encouraging kids to binge watch television.
I don't trust any of that. I mean, first of all, a kid is way too young to be a psychiatrist. I think the whole thing of child psychiatrists is out of control.
Paul, how do you not have Netflix?
Yeah, Paul.
We have Prime Video, Amazon Prime, so we watch stuff on that. It's just as good.
It's just good?
It's just as good,
Oh,
yeah.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
There's some fantastic shows on Amazon Prime now.
Well, Paul has many balls in the air. He has to juggle his time carefully.
True. We also don't watch a lot of TV because of how many balls I have in the air, like Danny said.
I think you're different than
Is that not what you said?
It's not even close to what I said.
Paul, do you have HBO?
We do have HBO, yeah.
You have HBO, right, Danny?
And that's where she watches Sesame Street on HBO. So
that's right.
When she's binge watching Sesame Street, she could easily flip over to Game of Thrones. And if I were a parent like from this story and had no idea what my kid was doing for hours in the day, then that'd be a problem. But I supervise my child, so I don't see why it's a problem.
Like when she gets to be 10 or 11 and they can just handle the remote, then maybe you don't realize they've watched 3 episodes.
Yeah, and I just leave the house.
And maybe 6 or 7, because nowadays you can talk to the remote.
That's true, yeah. And you can set parental controls on Netflix just like you can with your cable service.
I got to tell you that I popped my kid. I remember distinctly thinking, repeating the words, well, I'm never going to let the television be my babysitter. And then I had a child that wanted all my attention all the time. I said, here, watch this. This lady's going to take her pants off. It's amazing. And then I leave the house for a couple hours.
See, we let yard work be our babysitter. We just send Jelly Bean outside and tell her to like rake stuff and like hoe the garden.
Don't tell your little girl to do that.
He does.
Wow.
HBO has a limited series called The Undoing that will star Nicole Kidman. This is a project based on Jean Hoff Korlitz's book, You Should Have Known. And she will be working with David E. Kelly, who has done just a ton of different TV work. But she was on Big Little Lies on HBO.
Yeah, she was
and now
great.
Doing another show for HBO.
Big fan of hers. Everybody mocked her relentlessly because her forehead wouldn't move. How can you even tell? It's weird, but all right.
She's had some work done, but that's all right.
I don't know what work she's done. I know Botox like a crazy person.
Yeah. And Nicolas Cage, one of the things we know about him is he's a little bit odd.
Yeah.
And he is obsessed with Superman. So much so that his son is named Kal-El. He once owned a pricey and rare issue of the comic book series he eventually had to sell for $2.1 million. It looks like he will have his chance to play Superman. He has been cast as Superman in Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Yeah, I love the Teen Titans.
Well, it's animated.
Yeah.
So he'll be the voice. It's kind of him playing Superman.
It's definitely, I would say, the voice actors. It's definitely he's playing a different kind of Superman. I thought, because everybody's been kind of beaten up on the image of Superman that I've grown to know and love, that he was going to play an older and haggard, kind of like if Superman was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I thought. But I think Teen Titans are a lot of fun. I think the little pink lady's adorable.
He's going to play drunk, dying Superman? That's what you thought?
Yes, that is what I thought.
I love that movie, Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas. Man, I thought he was going to be that. The Cape Crusader had spent all his energy, and now he's just, life sucks.
Aww.
Then he meets a Plutonian hooker or whatever she did.
Maybe somebody's listening, and they're going to make this into a movie.
I'd make it.
Well, we can't put you in the movie, but maybe we could give you some money to take to Vegas.
Bills.
KZOK.com. Click on the contest tab for all the details.
Stick a look at sports.
Sports
brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Spring training action yesterday. The Mariners lost to the Rockies 8-7. And unfortunately, we got a couple more injuries. Nelson Cruz tweaked a quadriceps muscle while running out of the batter's box.
Isn't he like one of our best guys?
Indeed.
And he wasn't even like, it wasn't in a game.
No.
He's just running out of the batter's box.
Yep.
I think that says something bad about one of the conditioning coaches. So wait. He was just running to...
Yeah, he's going to get a drink of water and
then
I can't play.
Andrew Romine suffered a shoulder injury attempting to tag in the field. Well, on the bright side...
That's like 6 or 7 notable injuries in spring training so far.
Yep.
That's not good.
I didn't know you tagged in the field.
Yeah.
Well, the first time you said it,
not in the outfield.
The first time you said it, I thought, keep this to yourself. You're an idiot. But now you said it twice. Somebody's tagging somebody in the field. That's crazy.
Tag in the infield. If you tag in the outfield, then something went totally wrong.
Right. Somebody's off the baseline for sure.
Yeah. On the bright side, the Mariners, Felix Hernandez was throwing in the bullpen, and they say he will be ready for the start of the season. The Green Bay Packers have released Jordy Nelson and signed tight end Jimmy Graham. They have also, the Seattle Seahawks, lost wide receiver Paul Richardson to Washington.
He had a great season last year, too. Fantastic.
He'll have a great season for
Well, I hope not. Hopefully he goes somewhere and sucks.
We are expecting a flurry of action today in the NFL. A lot of rumors about who's going where, and today things should start movement. Tiger Woods' career seems to be back on track, and his ex-wife, Elin Nordgren, has put their former home, now her home.
I'll bet that's how that works.
$49.5 million is what it's on the market for.
That's a fair amount of dough.
Yep. She walked away from the marriage with around $100 million, and some of that was property. And this is a huge piece of real estate, 26,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's big, right?
That's really big.
Yeah.
I think I live in 1050. Well, she has it up on the market for almost $50 million.
Where is it? Is it in
Florida?
Florida? Yeah. Wow. Craziness.
Sounders action. There is a CONCACAF match tonight versus Guadalajara, 7 p.m. And we are getting for the NCAA tournament to get underway. Gonzaga is the number 4 seed, and they open versus UNC Greensboro tomorrow at 10:30. The Huskies will be hosting Boise State in the NIT first round tonight at 7. And sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Want to remind everybody that Danny Boo Boo Bonaducci will be out at the fights. That took a lot of breath out.
Hey, do it like this. Boom, boom, Bonaducci. Can you do that?
I don't think she can do that.
Danny will be out at the fight Saturday night at the EQC for Battle at the Boat 115. Doors are at 6. Fights at 7. Details and tickets at emeraldqueen.com.
And please come up and say hi. I'm shocked at how many people win tickets from us and say they like the radio show and everything, but don't come up and say hi. I'm right there under a spotlight. Rings. You cannot miss me. I'm sitting right next to my wife who's had too many drinks. That's how you know it's me.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with somebody from the EQC today, aren't you?
I'm going to lunch with Brian Halquist, as a matter of fact.
Is this to discuss your future?
I thought he was asking me to come out of retirement.
And he's not?
I sure hope he does.
Well, I think I'd have to say my lungs are bad compared to Sarah's right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I don't think that will be happening.
All right, well, we'll see. You know who's a big boxing fan?
I do, and I'll tell you if the Silver Fox, which I'd like to have that name right across my trunks. Silver Fox. The Silver Fox, if he came out of retirement, he would kick some serious butt. But no, instead, he's going to use his time cleverly. He's going to come in here and he's going to play a lot of classic rock and roll because that's what he does. So Steve Slayton, up next. We'll get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Seeing about a 30-minute delay in Renton due to some stop-and-go traffic on 405 northbound as you make your way between the Valley Highway and Lake Washington Boulevard. Over on the West Seattle Bridge eastbound at West Marginal Way, there's a disabled vehicle currently blocking the right lane, causing some minor delays through that area. American Standard Heating and Air sets the standard for in-home comfort. Now up to $1,000 off or 60 months special financing. Visit AmericanStandardNW.com for participating dealers, program eligibility details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This weather report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. Expect a moderate amount of rain today, highs in the low 50s, and things are looking up for Thursday and Friday. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.aerlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.